Live from the Winter Sports Center at the University of North Dakota, WDAZ Sports presents the WCHA Playoff Championship with the WCHA champion Fighting Sioux versus the Minnesota Gophers. Sponsored by Miller Lite, Modern Chrysler, Lever's Super Value and Warehouse Foods, Valley Honda, Realty World Town and Country, Silverman's, Fat Albert's, Acme Electric, Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Solon's Country Store, Jarrell's, Grand Forks and Devils Lake, ID Motors, Freilich Paulson Moore Insurance, the Red River Valley Potato Growers, the Grand Forks Elks, First National Bank, Grand Forks, Home of Economy, Valley Car Wash, Northern Liquidators, Thompson Insurance, Norby's Office Services, the Province of Manitoba Tourism Department, and Hanson Ford.
The WCHA playoffs have come down to two teams, and to the surprise of no one, those teams are North Dakota and Minnesota. Good evening to you. This is Pat Sweeney along with former Sioux Dean Barsness live at the UND Winter Sports Center in Grand Forks, set to bring you the action of tonight's game one of a two-game total goal series pitting the North Dakota Sioux against the Minnesota Gophers. And Dean, the Sioux and the Gophers, you don't need to say much more than that. Two old rivals going at it again.
Well, it's really exciting, Pat. I tell you, it kind of gets me a little pumped up here in the TV booth. As you can hear in the background, the Winter Sports Center is packed and it's lively. And I tell you, the fans are really exciting. And it should be just a great, great series. Everyone's anticipating a great series. It's only fitting that that these two teams should be number 1 and 2 teams in the WCHA playoffs. They finished first and second respectively and in the regular season, and they are great teams, and it should be just a classic matchup.
Both teams won their semifinal series last week, but each team lost a game last week.
Yeah, North Dakota coming off a loss on Saturday night to Colorado College, and Minnesota coming off a big win against Wisconsin at home on Saturday night in Minneapolis. So they're kind of contrasting what they're coming off of from the last series they had. So it should be kind of interesting to see how these teams react as to, you know, you're only as good as your last game. So they're thinking about their last game. Minnesota's pumped up. North Dakota's got something to prove.
Well, North Dakota lost last Saturday against Colorado College, only the second home loss of the season for UND. They're introducing the starting lineups right now, and in goal for Minnesota, it'll be John Blue, who has a 1-1 record against the Sioux this year. At defense, Todd Richards, today selected to the second team All-WCHA, and Gary Schopek at the other defensive position. At left wing, Dave Snuggerud. He's been back for about a month after missing 10 games with a shoulder injury. Right wing will be David Granis. And at center, Corey Millen, who, like Todd Richards, was an All-WCHA second-team selection. For the University of North Dakota, in goal, Ed Belfour, the first-team All-WCHA goaltender. He is 2-1 against the Gophers so far this season. He has 14 wins in his last 15 starts. At defense, Murray Barron, the big freshman from Kamloops, British Columbia, and he's paired with Ian Kidd, an All-WCHA first-team defenseman, as 4 Sioux players made the All-WCHA first team. And at left wing, another member of the All-WCHA first team, Bob Joyce, the leading goal scorer in NCAA Division I with 46 goals coming into this weekend. On the right side, it'll be Brent Bobick, the freshman from Regina, Saskatchewan. And centering this line will be none other than Tony Herkus, the first-team All-WCHA center and the WCHA's most valuable player. Herkus with 41 goals, 58 assists, and 99 points coming into this game. Incidentally, Coach Gino Gasparini was named WCHA Coach of the Year for the 3rd time in his career. We'll recap all of those WCHA award winners during our first intermission. The scoring leaders for North Dakota, as we said, Herkus leads it with 99 points. Joyce is second with 79. Johnson with 62 points. Kidd with 55, then Krumpetich and Koborinsky. For the Gophers, Corey Millen leads them with 61 points. Steve McSwain is next, followed by Dave Snuggerud. Last week, these teams swept, or did not sweep, they split their series to advance to this weekend. Back with the game after this.
players, and they love me for it. Shucks, that's why they invited me here tonight, to share some Miller Lights and to show their appreciation. You know, light tastes great and it's less filling. So here's to the greatest emotion in the world, the friendship between a coach and his players. No thanks, boys, I gave up cigars.
For a great get-together, there's only one light beer. Miller Lite.
I just love these reunions, don't you, boys? Ooh, they love me.
For years, the Riverbend brought you the best in distinguished dining. And now they're offering you a night of romantic excitement with a chauffeured limousine service. Just contact the Riverbend and they'll pick you up in style with an elegant white limousine and take you to a splendid evening of fine dining, great service, and romantic atmosphere. So don't just go out for supper. Make it an event with us at the Riverbend. The Riverbend, Highway 2 East, East Grand Forks.
Welcome back to the UND Winter Sports Center. Pat Sweeney with Dean Barsness. These teams, the Sioux and the Gophers, have played 4 times in the regular season. North Dakota splitting in Minneapolis back in November, and the Sioux sweeping right here in Grand Forks in January. The Sioux goalie tonight, once again, will be Ed Belfour. He made 57 saves last week against Colorado College, the #1 goalie in the WCHA. As Ed Belfour comes in on kind of a hot streak, 14 victories in his last 15 starts. Minnesota will counter with John Blue as you take a look at John Gino Gasparini, one of several award winners on the Sioux camp today. 4 Sioux players making all WCHA first team, and Gasparini with Coach of the Year honors. There's John Blue in the goal for Minnesota. He has 7 wins and a tie in his last 9 starts, so he too is coming in on a hot streak. He is 2-1 in the playoffs as Gopher coach Doug Woog brings his team in here, fresh off a victory over Wisconsin last week. The officials tonight, the referee will be Mito Martinello from Windsor, Ontario, the linesman Mike Hawk of Duluth, and Bill Wasserman of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. North Dakota dressed in white and moving from left to right. Perkis about to face it off with Corey Millen. A good crowd on hand here in Grand Forks. Mito Martinello getting set to drop the puck. And we're underway with game 1 of this 2-game total goal series, the WCHA playoff finals. North Dakota in control. Bob Joyce will pick it up and leave it for Murray Barrett. Here comes Barron leading the Sioux rush 3-on-3. Over to Bobek on the right wing. Bobek strung along by Snuggerud. He gets away from Gary Shopek. Drops it back in the corner for Joyce. Millen is wrapping him up. Joyce trying to get after the loose puck. Perkis tries to dig it loose. No go, and here comes Corey Millen. Millen leading the Gophers with Granis and Snuggerud. Millen gets around Kidd, and oh, what a good play by Belfour to knock it away with the goalie stick. Millen intercepts, drops it right to Herkus. But Granis gets in the way of that pass. Puts it right in front, knocked away by Belfour, and Millen couldn't get a good shot off. Sioux looking sloppy in their own end here as the Gophers throw it back into the corner. Now Ian Kidd, #4 to Murray Barrett. Ahead to Bob Joyce with Herkus. Herkus into Gopher ice. Tries to throw it into the corner for Joyce, and Richards gets to it. Out to the point, Lemoyne holds it in, and it bounces in front of the goal. Blue watches that go into the corner. Picking it up, #17, Tom Chorsky. Too far for Jay Cates, and Tom Benson picks it up for the Sioux. Back to Mike Lemoyne, the sophomore from Grand Forks Red River, over for Benson. Up ahead, it gets by Mickey Krumpetich. He's back in the lineup after missing a game with a thigh injury. Blue shovels it away. The Sioux keep it in. No, Benson in the corner. Takes the hit from Shopek. Around it'll go. Lemoyne and Chorsky go after it. Chorsky goes on top of Lemoyne, and the puck is brought back in offside with 18 remaining. We're just starting the first period. We have no score.
Well, good end-to-end action to start off the game. I suspect that's going to be the rule for most of the game. Usually when these two teams get together, it's a lot of skating, a lot of shooting, and it's good end-to-end action. It's real fun hockey to watch.
Now Minnesota goes back onto the attack. Dumping it in is Tim Berglund. Number 9 is Peter Hankinson after it now. Hankinson missed the January series up here. Loose puck comes to Russ Parent, number 17 for North Dakota. Tried to get it to Krumpetich. That's broken up. And the Sioux have to retreat. Lemoyne to Lee Davidson. Number 14, Davidson. Tried to get it to Krumpetich. Lance Pitlick gets a stick on that, but Davidson dumps it back in. John Blue kicks it over for a teammate, Dornfeld. Now Berglund taps it outside the line. It's thrown back in, delayed offside here on North Dakota. Pitlick. And the puck is touched by Lee Davidson, or Scott Dube, excuse me. And the delayed offside is called. We should point out, in case you were hoping to see the Beach Boys special, scheduled to be seen on ABC tonight, that will be seen tomorrow night, approximately 1/2 hour after the hockey game. The Beach Boys tomorrow night, approximately 1/2 hour after the hockey game. That is Saturday night.
I could sing the night, Pat, but I don't know if we could get too good a ratings on that.
I don't know about that. You don't exactly look like a Beach Boy either. You're not old enough.
My hair's too dark.
Murray Barron falls on the puck back of the UND goal, and the whistle for the face-off coming up. There's Scott Koborinsky. He's had a pretty good playoff thus far.
Key player, one of those guys that, like I keep saying, every telecast, I keep saying the guys that have stepped into their own, you know, that have stepped into a major contribution that weren't really maybe expected to at the beginning of the year, and have stepped into it and really have turned into a major contributor.
Well, it's stolen away by Steve Orth. Going after it is Randy Skarda, a defenseman who has moved up to the right wing. He spills in a collision with Barrett. And the puck rolls back to the Gophers' zone. David Espy, number 24. Tried to get it ahead to Scott Bloom. It goes all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off. Now Ian Kidd leads the Sioux on the rush. It's off the stick of Mal Parks. And Blue will guide it right to Todd Richards. Up to Dave Snuggerud. It's intercepted now by Bobick. Here's Bobick trying to get around Richards. He does. Has Herkus in front, a shot. And that's just wide. Hits the back of the net. Bobick, another shot. And what a glove save there by John Blue as Bobick fired it from point-blank range.
Well, just really nice effort by Brent Bobick. He set up Tony Herkus from the slot real nice, and he came around and took another shot from the slot, and Big John Blue made a really nice glove save.
We didn't even have time for a replay as the officials get play right back going here. Breakout pass intercepted now by Tom Benson of North Dakota. Off the stick of Herkus. Going back now is Richards. Lemoyne tried to keep it in. It comes to Snuggerud now, and here come the Gophers. 3-on-2. Dave Snuggerud. A shot. Oh, just missed the post. Out to the point, it's Richards. Setting up. A shot hits traffic in front. Snuggerud takes a swipe at it, and Herkus bats it down. Ahead to Joyce, and it's whistled offside. 15:55 to go. We'll take a break.
Modern Chrysler Center is going to break all sales records. Receive 3.7% financing and/or rebates up to $1,500 on most new units. We will not be undersold. Save up to $1,000 more on demos. All used vehicles have been drastically reduced with sale prices clearly marked in the windshield. Plus, many qualify for 5.9% factory financing for 48 months. Get a free Everglow kerosene heater. So hurry out to our record-breaking sale at Modern Chrysler, AMC, Jeep, Renault, Grand Forks.
15 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the opening period. No score. We want to welcome those of you watching on KBMY, Channel 17 in Bismarck, and KMCY, Channel 14 in Minot. And a big hi to the Sioux Booster Club in Bismarck. Chuck and the gang watching at the Sports Tavern on Channel 17. Gophers get it back again in front. Chorsky, a shot deflected wide. Now Steve McSwain sets up. Comes the other way now. McSwain tried to stuff it in, and Belfour stones him cold. Back is Jay Cates, over for Lance Pitlick. Fans on it. Perry Nakaneshny dumps it in for UND. Dornfeld and Taranika go back for it, but it is whistled icing. There's a stop in play. We'll take a break.
Cost Cutters cuts the cost of quality hair care. And at Cost Cutters, the only difference in our quality perms and fashion cuts is the price.
15:25 to go in the opening period. On Friday the 13th, we'll see if that date is unlucky for any team tonight. Paul Broughton, number 7, out on the draw against Jeff Bowen, a couple of former Minnesota Section 8 players. Bowen of East Grand Forks and Broughton from Roseau. Puck gets by Craig Mack, number 13, the defenseman from East Grand Forks, and the Gophers have to go back. David Espy shovels it around for Peter Hankinson. He's stopped by Bowen. Now Mack plays it over here for Espy. Takes a big check there from Grant Taranika, who sends him to the ice. Sioux pick it up, Nakaneshny out to the point to Kidd. Back in the corner, Nako didn't see it. Still a loose puck. Squirts loose to Bowen, a backhand, and that's off target. Here's Barron jamming in there. It rolls under Nakaneshny. Mack and Bowen, a couple of ex-high school teammates, go after it. And it's thrown all the way down. And this is an icing call with 14 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Still no score.
Kind of an interesting statistic here, Pat. You saw Steve McSwain almost score a goal. He almost stuffed it there when Eddie Belfour was going the other way. He came around the net and tried to stuff it the other way. He has scored the first goal of the game for Minnesota 11 times this year. So he's the spark plug that Minnesota relies on early on, and he showed why.
Both of these teams like to start fast. The Sioux have a 27-2 record when they score the first goal. Now Richards and Chopek are skating over to the Minnesota bench as the Herkus line is matched up against the Millen line. That's the way it was for most of the series here back in January. Whenever Millen's line came out, Gasparini put the Herkus circus out on the ice. Loose puck at center, grabbing it is Bobick, runs into a stiff check from Zornfeld, and the Gophers regain control. But they throw it down, and Belfour will play it to Russ Parent. Parent, the freshman from Winnipeg. Starting the Sioux on a breakout attempt to Herkus, and it's picked off by Chopek. Here's Snuggerud over for Millen in the clear. Millen moving in, a shot stopped by Belfour.
Well, Corey Millen came in the right side, and it was just basically him against Belfour. Corey knew he couldn't cut to the middle. There was a defenseman there, so he just kind of cut off his angle more and more as he went along, and he tried to go upstairs on Eddie. Eddie stuck with him, had the angles cut right. Corey didn't have a heck of a lot to shoot at. That's one thing Belfour has prided himself on, is that angles, and if you ever get a chance to watch him in warm-ups or in practices, he's very, very conscious to where he is in his crease compared to where the shooter is. He's very conscious of that, and you won't see a lot of long shots going on Eddie Belfour because his angles are so precise.
We've got 13:56 to go now, no score, as Mickey Krumpetich comes in now to take the draw with Orth. Out to the point, it's Pitlick, a shot and a stick save by Belfour. Lee Davidson after it. It's rolling on top of the boards now, and Parent goes in, tries to freeze it, knocks it down, and sends it too far for Krumpetich. Pitlick will hold it. And it bounces off the goal of Belfour, it's underneath him! And he falls on it. Whistle. And a face-off coming up as the Gophers collided with Belfour and tried to push it into the net. We'll see it again.
Well, just as I said, Eddie had the angle down, just like I said, but I don't think he may not just play center field tonight, that's all. He got it in his glove, and he thought he had it in his glove. It just fell down, and luckily his left pad he laid down and his left pad went right on top of the puck. It's very fortunate because the puck just kind of fell and was laying there for a couple of seconds.
So the score remains 0-0. Mack whips it in from the point. Belfour gets the stick on that. Scott Bloom tried to center it. Skarda keeps the pressure on, but Kidd gets to it. Now Murray Barron for North Dakota. Tried to get it to Parks. It's picked off by the Gophers. Intercepted by Skarda, and offside is called. As you see Randy Skarda there, Skarda was originally listed as a defenseman coming into this series, but because of an injury to Marty Nanny, he's out with some rib problems. Skarda moves up to right wing, and Craig Mack gets a chance to play in his old stomping grounds on defense, replacing Skarda. Gophers bring it in, but Kidd tries to send it back out. Finally, Koboritsky does. Barron for UND. The rebound to Parks, and he just missed the corner. Puck rolls, but Barron was outside the line. Delayed offside here, but the Gophers bring it out. They get crossed up a bit, and it's back into the Gophers zone. Steve McSwain and Parks in a collision. Bouncing puck, Dornfeld. Can't get away from Koboritsky. Tremendous checking by Koboritsky there. Now Pitlick can't get it out as Gould gets in the way. Dornfeld with Parks all over him. Over here now to McSwain, and Tate finally clears the zone. The Sioux send it back in, and that's offside. As Koboritsky was in over the line. In case you're new to hockey, the puck has to precede the attacking players over the blue line. If a player is in ahead of the puck, it's offside.
Boy, just a completely different atmosphere here in this playoff game as opposed to the last playoff game and the ones with Michigan Tech before that. It just seems like there's such an electricity in the air here when the Gophers come to town, and it's the same thing when Wisconsin comes to town. The rivalries are so old and so, I don't know if I want to use the word bitter, but they really, really get after it, and the fans just love it here.
I was going to say it seems a little tamer than usual with the students on spring break, but still a good crowd. Benson for North Dakota drops it off. Nakaneshny shot is deflected high. Bowen in front, hits the post, the rebound, goal! Nakaneshny!
Oh, Tommy Benson intercepts the pass here at mid-ice, brings it in the zone, gets it off to Nakaneshny. His shot just goes off the glass. Bowen hits it up here, just puts it out in front. Nakaneshny, the puck is bouncing, hits it out of midair. That puck was about 2 feet off the ice, and Nako, that's tremendous concentration on, there he is right there, number 10, Perry Nakaneshny. The puck was bouncing all over. It went off a player in front, and it took one bounce and took another, and that puck was 2 feet off the ice when Perry just swatted it right off the ice and right underneath the sprawling John Blue.
Perry Nakaneshny with his 6th goal of the season. Bowen, the lone assist at 8:02, and it's 1-0, North Dakota. Bowen in a jam up there with Hankinson, fans screaming for a penalty, and the puck flips into the Gopher bench. So we'll have a face-off coming up. Well, that first goal, as we have often seen, is so very important. As we mentioned, the Sioux 27-2 when scoring the first goal.
It's interesting, too. Out of 26 goals in the playoffs Minnesota has scored, only 5 of those 26 have been scored in the first period. So, judging by that statistic, they haven't really been coming out of the chute in the playoffs like Coach Doug Wood would probably want to see them. And like you said, it is very important to get the jump on teams in the first period. This kind of seems to set the tempo.
Here come the Gophers with Eric Dornfeld, number 21. Around it goes. Nakaneshny jams Hankinson into the boards. Loose puck grabbed by Broughton in front, thrown right to Perenica. Here's Grant Perenica tossing it out. And Pitlick comes back for the Gophers. Timmy Berglund of Thief River Falls gets the shot off the glove of Belfour. He smothers it. And a little fencing here with Lemoyne and Broughton. And nothing comes of that.
Oh, Timmy Berglund just from Thief River Falls just steps over to the line and uses the defenseman as a screen. Nice shot. Eddie lets it hit his pad and just jumps on it. That's a good play by Timmy Berglund. He knew that nothing else was really going to happen. You know, you get over the blue line, you can see, you know, you got a 2-on-2, everything's kind of stable, and you can see nothing's going to happen. Use that defenseman as a screen. The goaltender's going to have a tough time seeing the puck.
Well, perhaps we spoke too soon. It looked like nothing was going to happen with those fighting players, but Lemoyne is in the box for North Dakota, and Broughton goes in for Minnesota. Each gets 2 minutes, I would assume, for roughing. 8:46 the time. High sticking the penalties to both players. So our first penalties of the game are offsetting, and it's 4-on-4 hockey here. Gary Schopek throws it over for Minnesota. Snuggerud plays it back for Richards. Over here for Schopek. And he brings it in, and it's whistled offside. Schopek, you talk about determination. Schopek walked on at Minnesota. He is now a senior, and he holds the Gopher record for games played. This is his 168th game. Also holds the team record for career assists by a defenseman. And he needs 3 points to tie Bill Baker's record for career points by a defenseman. Pretty good for a walk-on.
I can remember him as a freshman, played against him, and I said, how can that skinny little guy play defenseman? But when you see him handle the puck and the way he skates, he's an extremely agile defenseman.
Schopek, honorable mention on the all-WCHA team today. Joyce goes careening into the net. Fans hollering for a penalty call, and they do not get one. Here come the Gophers with Schopek. Kidd keeping an eye on him, trying to get the pass away. Here's Richards, a shot and a save by Belfour. The rebound, lying loose. And Herkus traps it. Gets by one man. Here come the Sioux, 3-on-1. Herkus with Schopek back. Herkus moving in. Now he circles. He tripped. Looked like he was going to try a stuff attempt. And nothing comes of that one. A squandered break for the Sioux. 46 seconds to go on the penalty. As Ian Kidd plays it ahead to Johnson. Steve Johnson hooks from behind. Johnson. Oh, he can't get a good shot off. Herkus a shot. Blue gets a piece of it. Kidd tries to get it in front. Espy blocks it. Oh, the Sioux with some tremendous chances here. Now Craig Mack eludes Johnson. Tosses it to center. And it'll roll right in front of Belfour. And with Snuggerud moving in, Belfour decides to play it safe.
Boy, I tell you what, the folks just watched when Steve Johnson had the break there. The Minnesota players are all over him, and that is the way it happens in WCH. Watch this, hook, another hook. You know, they're on a stick. You don't have time in games like this, WCHA playoff games, especially with two teams like this. You don't even have time to think. You just react. They are so quick, and the players are so intense out on the ice that you don't think, you just react.
1-0, the Sioux leading here with 9:23 remaining in period one. Another possible chance for Johnson, and it's hard off his stick. Blue plays it over in the corner. And the penalties are over. Team skating 5-on-5 as Millen brings it in for the Gophers. He's stopped by Parent. Johnson clears it ahead to Davidson. Tried to elude Dornfeld. Bouncing puck, scooped up by Millen. Corey Millen, a member of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team. Oh, gets away from Benson. Got a piece of him on that check. Snuggerud throws it out right to Davidson, and here's Johnson back for UND, 2-on-2. Johnson with Trumpetich. And Trumpetich missed it. Millen is there. And the Gophers shoot it in. Belfour plays it, looked out as Richards was there. And Richards collided with Benson and Belfour. Berglund tying up the Sioux player Koborinsky. Now Johnson trying to steal it from Broughton. He can't do it, but he does steal it from Hankinson. Gophers retrieve, however. Shopek booms it in. Belfour knocks it to Scott Doob from Park River, North Dakota. Mack gets a weak pass off, picking it up as Doob. Has Parks in front. Parks a shot, blocked at the defense. Another shot, and that won't go. In front again, and it's covered up by Blue.
Well, good pressure by this line. Again, we're seeing Scotty Doob comes in, feeds it over to Mel Parks, gets a quick shot off. That one's blocked. Parks follows it up, follows it, tries to get a shot off, then it goes in the corner, and then he just shovels it out in front, and John Blue quickly jumps on it. And look at the defensemen around there protecting him. 3 guys protecting John Blue, making sure no North Dakota forwards get in on him.
Back to the action now with 7:50 remaining. 1-0 North Dakota as Berglund has it. Stolen by Kidd. Here's Mal Parks trying to shrug off Hankinson. Puck hits the back of the net. Doob gets to it first. Over for Kobarinski. Tried to knock it in front. Blue knocks it back. Still loose. Hits the side of the net. In front again. And nothing develops there as everyone was passing it off and nobody could get a shot away. A high sticking penalty. 7:24 to go. We'll take a break.
Great meals start from great beginnings. That's why we choose to offer you only the freshest, most delightful vegetables. We take pride in our quality meats because we know you take pride in your tender, juicy meals. It's no accident that the fruit you get from us is so succulent and sweet. We have quality beginnings, so you can have satisfying endings. We're Warehouse Foods in Langdon and Cavalier.
Scott Doob is penalized for North Dakota. A high sticking call at 12:36. Hope you're enjoying this game on channels 8, 17, and 14. We'll be back tomorrow night for game 2. Right now the Gophers on the power play. The first power play chance for either team tonight. Minnesota has 65 goals and 231 chances for a 28% success ratio. That's number 1 in the WCHA. Steve McSwain, the top goal getter on that power play with 15. Here's Shopek tossing it in. McSwain after it with Kidd. Comes to Joyce, who gets it by Shopek. Blue sends it up for Richards with Herkus on him. Herkus already has 7 shorthanded goals this year. He's so dangerous. Rink wide over here for Steve McSwain in front. Snuggerud back to McSwain now. Lemoyne chasing him. Joyce will get to it and clear it. 1:05 remaining on the penalty to North Dakota. Shopek trying to skate away from Herkus, leaves it for Richards. Herkus and Joyce out killing the penalty for the Sioux. Millen leaves it for McSwain, back to Millen, back to McSwain, can't get a shot away, loose puck in front. Joyce clears but not out. Richards to Millen in the slot. He shoots, and that's high and wide. 39 seconds on the penalty. Herkus intercepts. Here come the Sioux, but Herkus decides to dump it in as the Sioux make a change with 30 seconds remaining. This is Millen. Kobarinski gets there and sends it down once again. The Sioux killing off 85% of their penalties. They're 15 seconds away from skating off this one as Hankinson has the puck. Jachorsky, and a weak shot just goes wide. Benson booms it out as it gets by Espy. And the penalty is over to Doob. Gophers bring it in. Chorsky, a shot just wide, the rebound. Hankinson going after it, and a good sliding play by Kobarinski to clear. Doob tied up by Cates. Cates knocks it away from Kobarinski. And the Gophers start back with Skarda. He flips it in. Minnesota changing on the fly with 5:04 remaining. First period, 1-0 North Dakota on a goal by Perry Nakonechny. Lance Pitlick, number 6, one of the many freshmen on this Gopher team. Belfour out of his net. Benson clears to Paranika. Now Bowen. Hooked from behind by Bloom. Bowen flips it in. After it is Pitlick. Held in by Benson. In front, it hits Dornfeld. And here's Orth. Steve Orth, number 5 from St. Cloud, Minnesota. He shoots. Oh, it's off the glove of Belfort and it hit the crossbar. And the whistle is blown. I don't know why the whistle. Did it land in the back of the net? I'm not sure what happened, but here's a look at that shot by Steve Orth.
Let's watch Orth. He comes over and it just takes a shot, and again using Ian Kidd as the screen. Eddie just catches it at the last second. And I can't tell if that hit the crossbar or not. Pat, it went somewhere near the top corner of the net. I know there's a big hush by the crowd, and I couldn't tell by the replay if it did hit the crossbar or just went over the net.
Looked to me like it hit something, but I didn't understand the whistle unless it flipped into the crowd and I didn't see it. In any case, 4:17 remaining. And the Gophers on the attack again, but Barron intercepts. To Grant Perenica, tries to sidestep Orth. Now Kidd brings it back again for the Sioux. Orth is there. Over to Pitlick, ahead to Dave Granis, who played high school hockey under Doug Woog at South St. Paul. Granis booms one, and that's deflected off the skate of Barron. Now Bowen throws his weight around as he and Berglund mix it up a bit. Taken away by Kidd. Ian Kidd throwing it into the Gopher zone. Blue plays it to Todd Richards as North Dakota changes lines here. Off the stick of Berglund, and Kidd flips it. Not out though. Still in the zone. Here's Chopek tripped up. And Kidd finally clears it. This will be icing. 3:20 to go. We'll take a break.
Huge selection and huge savings. We're talking pretty big now. Right now at Valley Honda and ready for immediate delivery. 1987 Honda Civics as low as $69.29 or lease for just $139.99 per month. 1987 Honda Accords as low as $99.99 or lease for just $199.93 per month. Or 1987 Honda Preludes as low as $11,995 or lease for just $245.41 per month. Huge selection and huge savings at Valley Honda out west on Gateway Drive.
Pat Sweeney and Dean Barsness back here at the UND Winter Sports Center, where the Sioux lead 1-0 over the Minnesota Gophers. Puck bouncing around. Finally, he comes back in the net to Benson. Cates takes a poke at it, and Davidson clears it over, but Chorsky gets to it, and Belfour comes over to stop that before any damage is done, as McSwain was parked in front of him.
Well, that just goes to show you that the goaltender's always got to be alert, boy. I tell you, you never know when the puck is going to come flying. So a goaltender doesn't have time to sit and think about what he's going to do tomorrow morning. He's got to be intense all the time.
Mack from the point, and Belfour turns that aside. Loose puck, McSwain pokes it out. Mack another shot, blocked by Krumpetich. In a race for it now. Espy gets a stick on it. Krumpetich brings it in, has Johnson in front, and the pass is behind him. Steve Johnson in the corner to Davidson. Davidson looks for some help. He'll center it. The Gophers are there. Mack clears it away. Now McSwain taps it around Benson. And Lemoyne retrieves it for the Sioux. To Davidson now. Davidson shoots. The save, the rebound cleared by Granis, as Krumpetich was there for a possible rebound attempt. Lemoyne holds it in. Sticked aside by Blue. Espy plays it over for Craig Mack, number 13. Mack obviously not superstitious. Now the Sioux intercept and clear it again, as Richards controls for the Gophers. Throws it ahead. Millen was parked at the blue line, and that's icing. 2 minutes remaining. 1-0 North Dakota.
There you see one of the first team WCHA All-Stars, Ian Kidd. Say time and time again, he's had a heck of a year, boy. He's the backbone of this hockey team. He holds them together back there, and you know, through talking with some of the younger defensemen too, they say, you know, the freshmen, and they say, you know, Ian Kidd not only is the backbone of our defensive core, and but he teaches us so much that you know, you have a guy like Ian Kidd and what he has done in the league. He can teach the younger guys so much about just things that, you know, you can't see from the stands.
Here's Kidd with the puck, playing it back to Herkus in front. And the play doesn't click. Herkus gets it back again. Being bothered by Millen. Bobick at the blue line. Can't get a shot away as he and Barron got crossed up. And here's Granis for Minnesota. Granis to Millen. Tried to kick it on his stick. Too far. He gets it back, however, but Joyce plays it ahead. Herkus, 2-on-2 with Bobick. Herkus can't split the defense. Sweeping in his Shopek. Fans want a penalty, as they so often do when anyone merely looks at Tony Herkus. Delayed offside here, and it is finally blown dead with 1:16 to go. Herkus needs just 1 point to become the first UND player to score 100 in a season, and it didn't happen last Saturday. Maybe tonight's the night.
Yeah, the fans don't like the opposing teams really even brushing against Tony. They're like fathers and mothers to Tony Herkus here. They don't like it when anyone gets close to him. And that wasn't a penalty. He kind of just fell, and there was no infraction there. But hey, the fans might as well yell. They may get something out of Mito.
Now the Gophers start up ice with 1:03 to go. Benson is there for North Dakota, around for Scott Dube. We'll recap all those WCHA awards during our first intermission. Herkus named the league's MVP. He was actually voted the league's MVP. Lemoyne passing off for Benson. To Dube, the pass is blocked. Dube regains control, however. Dube brings it in, a shot to save by Blue. And Shorsky is there to skate it out of trouble. 30 seconds to go. Oh, Benson misses at it. Here's Bloom picking it up. Benson crashes into the boards with Scott Bloom, the freshman from Burnsville. And we'll have a face-off coming up here with 23 seconds remaining in period one.
The pride of Park River, Scotty Dube, become a fan favorite here.
That's right. They're not saying boo, they're saying Dube.
Dube. He's quite a feisty player, and he's one of those guys that plays his role, and he plays it to perfection.
Richards a shot, the save by Belfour, and Broughton took a swipe at it, but Belfour right on top of it.
Well, good face-off. Todd Richards just takes a wrist shot again, using the defenseman as a screen. Eddie makes the initial save and has to dive on the rebound to save it.
Broughton gets a shot off the draw, and Belfour has no trouble with that. Steve Johnson loses it now with 8 seconds to go in the period. Gophers send it in, and this will run out the clock. That's the end of the first period with our score. North Dakota 1, Minnesota nothing. A pretty fast-paced first period, Dean Barsman.
I think each team had close to the same amount of good quality shots. Both teams putting on some pressure. Minnesota had the power play, didn't amount to a lot of pressure, but like I said, these games historically show a lot of end-to-end action, good quality shots, and we're seeing some real good goaltending. So it was an exciting first period, just like everyone anticipated.
The only goal in that period coming at 8:02. Harry Nakaneshny, the senior from Dauphin, Manitoba, notching his 6th of the season. Jeff Bowen getting the only assist. And that's where we are now. North Dakota 1 and Minnesota nothing. When we return, we will recap all the WCHA awards that were handed out today. That's coming up right after this.
Dedication, attention to detail, and caring. At Realty World, we believe these qualities are the most important considerations in helping people with the purchase or sale of their home. It's our people who make the difference and get the results. Because at Realty World, it's not just the quality of the material our jackets are made of, but the quality of the people who wear them.
Call the results people. Realty World, Town and Country Real Estate, 746-8477.
Do you ever get the feeling in some stores that you're all alone when you want service?
Morning. Morning.
At Silverman's, we give service, as much or as little as you want. We've been giving service since my grandfather started Silverman's, and you'll find that tradition at all 3 Silverman stores today. So when you're shopping for clothes for your family, remember just one thing. Silverman's gives service. You'll never have to feel alone again.
Ted Elber, submarine sandwich. Get one before it gets you.
Game 1 of the 2-game total goal series, Minnesota and North Dakota, here at the UND Winter Sports Center. And after 20 minutes of action, North Dakota holding a 1-0 lead over the Minnesota Gophers. Well, the Western Collegiate Hockey Association announced its postseason awards today, and it was a tremendously big day for the University of North Dakota. The WCHA All-Conference team came out today, along with MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Coach of the Year awards. Now, the voting is done by team captains, sports information directors, and members of the media in WCHA cities. Let's take a look now at a recap of all the honors.
North Dakota placed 4 players on the WCHA first team. Ed Belfour of UND is the first team goalie. The freshman from Carmen, Manitoba is the #1 goalie in the WCHA with a 23-4 record and 2.41 goals against average. Belfour, the hottest goalie in the league, winning 14 of his last 15 starts. Sophomore Ian Kidd was the top vote getter at defense. Kidd has set 2 UND records this season with 43 assists by a defenseman and 55 points by a defenseman. Bob Joyce is one of 3 first-team forwards. The junior left wing from Winnipeg is the top goal scorer in NCAA Division I with 46 entering this weekend series. He also tied a WCHA record with 6 goals in 1 game against Michigan Tech. And to no one's surprise, Tony Herkus won a spot as first-team forward and was named the league's MVP. Herkus was the favorite in the balloting thanks to his average of 2.36 points a game, giving him 99 points in his first 42 games. Herkus set a WCHA single-season scoring record with 86 points this season and the single-season assist record with 50. Herkus is also one of 10 finalists for the Hobie Baker Award. The other first-teamers are Northern Michigan senior center Gary Emmons of Winnipeg. Emmons led the Wildcats with 32 goals and 34 assists, and Colorado College senior defenseman Rob Doyle. Doyle finished tied for second in Tiger scoring with 37 points. The second all-WCHA team is led by Wisconsin goalie Mike Richter. At defense, Duluth's Guy Goslin and Minnesota's Todd Richards. And 4 forwards, Tony Granato and Paul Ranheim of Wisconsin, Corey Millet of Minnesota, and Rick Bowe of Colorado College. UND forward Steve Johnson took honorable mention. The WCHA Freshman of the Year is Denver center Dave Shields, who led the Pioneers and WCHA rookies in scoring with 48 points. And the WCHA Coach of the Year for the 3rd time in his career, John Gino Gasparini of UND. Gasparini led the Sioux to the WCHA title, his 4th as UND coach, with a 29-6 record.
What do you think? Was that a surprise to you?
Well, anytime that you get recognized by your peers in this business, it comes as a surprise, because there's a lot of great coaches in this league, and certainly when they bring about recognition for you and your staff, as they do in a Coach of the Year situation, I think that it certainly humbles one in a hurry. But on behalf of not only myself, but certainly there's 3-4 people over there that deserve as much credit for that award as I do, and that is John Mark Steenblaze and Kerry Eads. And then, of course, there's 28 players over there that, these kind of awards don't come about unless you got 28 players that are willing to do the things and make the commitment that it takes to be successful. So the award could be split up in a lot of different ways, and each and every person associated with our program deserves part of that.
Not only that award, but 4-year players make the first team, WCHA, and the MVP. It's a great way to start the weekend.
Well, that's an interesting way to start the weekend. I certainly hope that, well, that's well-deserved, no question about it. You know, with Ian, Eddie, and Bobby, and Tony getting the MVP. I mean, there's no better way than to have those people recognized by the media and certainly by all those that voted. I know in speaking for them, they would feel as I do, and that there's a lot of people involved anytime recognition is brought to individuals, and certainly from a coach's point of view, it was well deserved on their part.
What a big, big day for UND, and it may get bigger. Don't forget, we've got the WDAZ-TV Players All-Star Team coming out in the next week or two. We'll keep you posted on that. That is our annual poll of WCHA players in which they vote for an opponent's all-star team. They're not allowed to vote for anyone on their own team, but they pick an all-star team based on who they feel is the best of their opponents throughout the season, and we'll be coming out with that in the next couple of weeks. Our intermission will continue live from Grand Forks with the score North Dakota 1, Minnesota nothing after 1 period.
Electric, tool crib of the North.
Delta continues a tradition in woodworking with this 13-inch planer for only $949. Or try this 10-inch contractor saw, priced now at just $579. Acme Electric, Grand Forks, Fargo, Bismarck, and Minot.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
Grand Forks' people having good times, people sharing fun. Grand Forks' people meeting, people playing, people getting great things done.
I can get things here I can't get at home.
You can't beat it.
We've got great things going in Grand Forks. Grand Forks is doing, moving, growing all for you. We've got great things going in Grand Forks.
There's something delightfully refreshing at Solom's Country Store. There's always something deliciously crisp, lusciously light, shamelessly appetizing, and appetizingly fresh. All brought to you especially by Solom's Country Store. Things are always deliciously refreshing at Solom's. Attention team sponsors and managers. Area softball leagues are starting soon. Now's the time to visit Jarrell Sports Center to order your Russell Athletic team uniforms. At Jarrell Sports Center, we have a good supply of rugged, pro-tested Russell Athletic game jerseys and pants in stock. And if you want the look of the pros, Russell Athletics Eagle Express can deliver the custom uniforms you want in plenty of time for your first game. When you're playing your best, you want to wear the best. So come and get it now. Russell Athletic teamwear at Jarrell Sports Center, Devils Lake, and Grand Forks.
This is Pat Sweeney back with Dean Barsness at the UND Winter Sports Center. 1-0 North Dakota leads after 1 period. In game 1 of this 2-game total goal series, the WCHA playoff finals. The only goal in that opening period of play coming from Perry Nakonechny at 8:02, and here it is.
Well, Benson just gives it over to Nakonechny, takes a shot. It goes off the glass in the back. Jeffrey Bowen, good hustle, goes right to the pipe, just takes a whack at it. Catches something there. I don't know if it was a piece of John Blue or not. Puck bounces. Look at this. Little baseball, folks. Boom, right out of midair underneath John Blue. Great concentration by Perry Nakonechny, number 10, to whack that right out of midair. Here, let's get another angle at it now. Benson intercepts it. Good play in mid-ice to intercept it. Gives a nice pass over to Nacko. Nacko, just a quick shot. Gets deflected. Goes in the back of the net. A hustling Jeff Bowen just kind of whacks at it. Defenseman gets a piece of it. Bounce. Boom, midair. Right underneath John Blue, catches him by surprise. Tell you, that's good concentration. It takes a darn talented hockey player and some immense concentration also to see a puck bounce like that and whack it out of midair, get good contact on it, and score a goal. And nice play all around.
Don Mattingly would be proud of Perry Nakonechny with a swing like that. So it's 1-0, that goal coming at 8:02. And the saves in that first period, Belfour had 12 saves for North Dakota. Blue had 8 for Minnesota, but even though the Sioux were outshot there, I would say that the Sioux probably had the better chances, but you always look back at those squandered opportunities. I think back to that 3-on-1 break where Herkus circled the net and nothing developed there.
Yeah, you know, you won't see Tony Herkus do that very often. Minnesota should count their blessings that that did happen. You know, you don't see Tony Herkus often squandering a 3-on-1 like he did. You know, he wanted to pass it across, but the defenseman played that very well, and he just ran out of room, decided to go around the net and try to stuff it, and fell down. So, you know, that is a saved opportunity for Minnesota. Overall, the period was a pretty good period of hockey. Two very good college hockey teams going at it, using, you know, the whole ice. They're skating teams. You know, there's not a lot of after-the-whistle stuff going on. It's good, fast-paced, solid hockey, and it's just a lot of fun to watch.
I was just going to say that we've only had 3 penalties in the period, 2 minors to North Dakota and 1 to Minnesota. We haven't had a lot of the rough stuff, and it's made for an entertaining game. Go ahead.
You know, as opposed to the last 2 series we've had here against Colorado College and against Michigan Tech, those 2 teams were a little bit lesser teams, and they tried to stop North Dakota by, you know, using a checking style, slowing down the pace of the game. Minnesota doesn't have to do that. They are not that much of a lesser team than North Dakota. They finished a couple points behind the standings, but they are not. They have a lot of talent, and it's deep talent. So what you're going to see is you're not going to see the contrasting styles that we've seen the last couple weekends. You're going to see 2 teams that are skating teams, and they're very, very, very talented teams go at each other end to end.
Getting back to that Herkus falling behind the net, if nothing else, that proves that Tony Herkus is human. And that's something that a lot of opposing teams may have trouble believing, but it can happen. And really, when you look back last weekend, Guy Godowski of Colorado College did a tremendous job of shadowing Tony Herkus. Right now, Millen is matched up against Herkus. Do you think, how long do you think that can continue, where Herkus, he's had 1 goal last week, so far in this period, nothing?
Well, you know, he is human. He's had a great, great season, but he's human, and he's going to draw a lot of attention during the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see if, and he is maybe in a mini slump, but he's doing things, he's feeding the puck off, he's getting shadowed, but he's doing things that a shadowed player has to do, and that's get the puck off. But hey, he fell down, he's human. It's a relief to all of us that he is a little human, but you know, I don't expect it to bother him or bother the team at all.
And last week, the Herkus circus was shut down more or less. The other guys came through. Same thing so far tonight with Perry Nakonechny, the only goal for North Dakota. It's 1-0. We'll be back with the second period after this.
This is a Whopper from Burger King. And this is a Whopper of a low price from ID Motors. On Saturday, this Whopper and this Whopper will be getting together for a Whopper of a sale at ID Motors. For example, get a 1985 K-Car or 85 Chevy Citation for just $118 a month, plus a whopping 3.9% financing on every new and used car on the lot at ID Motors, 1300 South Washington, right on the corner, always right on the price.
I'm Chris Lander.
And I'm Clint Ronigan, Jr.
We're here to talk insurance.
Any and all kinds of insurance. Home, auto, fire.
Business, farm, even your life. We're independent insurance agents, and we can put it all together for you.
You can see we're easy to talk with. And we're proud of our teamwork at Freilich, Paulson, Moore.
Stop in and see us, right next to Goodman's on South Washington.
Has the tax collector got your money? Why, Voda's tax sale will make you happy with Kangaback tax sale $7.99 a yard, tax sale $6.99, tax sale $5.99, tax sale $4.99 a yard.
What's Voda's deal? Any brand from any mill will sell you for less money. Otherwise, you might buy it from them other guys.
We're set for the second period in Grand Forks with North Dakota holding a 1-0 lead on Minnesota. The teams have changed ends, and Minnesota will be moving from left to right in the second period of play. Minnesota will start out with Corey Millen's line with Dave Snuggerud and Dave Granis at the wings. North Dakota sends out Tony Herkus with Bob Joyce and Brent Bobick at right wing. Once again, a delay before the start of this period. We've had a few of those here in playoff games at UND, as they attend to some ice down on the UND goal to our right. There's John Blue, and there's Ed Belfort. A couple of 29s in goal tonight. Looks like we're set to go now as Mito Martinello blows the whistle.
I'm going to say it's a little warm in the building tonight, too. That may be the ice may be a little soft in spots. You know, when this building gets packed like it is tonight, it gets extremely warm down on the ice surface, and the guys sweat a lot, let me tell you.
Bob Joyce for North Dakota now as we begin the second period. Millen pokes it loose, and the puck is shot right on John Blue as Herkus and Millen got tied up in front. Gary Schopek now. Banks it off, picking it up is Snuggerud. Snuggerud with Millen. Snuggerud scores! And it's tied at 1.
Well, a nice pass here to get it up to Snuggerud. He just takes off, gets over the blue line, fakes the shot. Bad angle, gets it right between the sprawling Eddie Belfour's legs. A fake shot here kind of threw off the defenseman, and then he grabbed it, kept going. Nice low shot, right through the legs of Eddie Belfour. Snuggerud, 25th goal of the year, so he knows how to pick them. And when you're at that angle, you know as a shooter that the only hole you're going to have, like we call in hockey, we call the 5-hole, which is you know, between the legs. And at that angle, you're not going to have any corners to shoot at. You've got one hole, and that's the 5-hole in between the goalie's legs, and that's exactly where he put it.
Snuggerud from Granis and Schopek at 32 seconds, and we are tied 1-1. Now the breakout pass to Steve Johnson, 1-on-1. Oh, and he can't get around Eric Dornfeld. Puck held in. Johnson and Dornfeld muscle after it again. Loose puck comes right to Snuggerud, the man who just scored for the Gophers. Snuggerud eludes one check. Lee Davidson breaks it up. Gophers bring it in, however. Millen tied up on the play. Now Steve Johnson banks it, but not out. Espy knocks it down, the whistle blows, and a hand pass is ruled, playing the puck with the hand, and we'll have a face-off outside the line. In our second intermission, we will take a look at the 10 finalists for the Hobie Baker Award, and among that group is Tony Herkus. We've got 18:45 remaining here in the second period. Couple of 14s on the draw, Cates and Davidson. Puck is slapped into the Sioux zone. Russ Parent skates around his own net. Passes off to Davidson. Now Krumpetich carries on. Nicky shoots it in. David Espy in a race for it. Dumps it back the other way to McSwain. Now Cates clears it to neutral ice. Intercepted by McSwain. Here's McSwain, a shot. Hit the side of the net as Belfour got the blocker on that. Now Krumpetich up to Russ Parent. The freshman defenseman from Winnipeg throws it into the Gopher end. Scooping it up is Jay Cates, the junior from Stillwater, Minnesota. The lead pass too far for a teammate, and it is whistled for icing. 17 minutes and 56 seconds to go in this opening period. Or the second period, excuse me.
Jay Cates trying to do the long pass. Notice the Gophers have tried to do that a couple, 3 times tonight. Try that long breakaway pass. And although that can produce a very quick goal, there aren't a lot of, 50, 60 feet passes in this league that are connected. just because the defensemen are too quick. They read the play too well, and a lot of times it just ends up in a turnover. So for the most part, you'll see the short, crisp, easy passes are the most efficient passes in this league.
Here's Kidd with a drive. Oh, Blue got a piece of it and was lying in the crease. And a hooking call coming up with 17:45 to go. We'll be back.
Potatoes are good for your body. Packed with nutrition, potatoes are a good source of vitamin C, B vitamins, and iron, and are high in carbohydrates to supply you with the energy you really need. They are also good for your waistline. Only 110 calories in the average potato. Spring into March with a healthy appetite. Eat Red River Valley potatoes. They're good for you. This message brought to you by the Red River Valley Potato Growers Association.
The penalty to Gary Shopek of Minnesota for hooking at 2:15.
Well, let's see if we can pick it up here. Ian Kidd takes a shot. Mal Parks is in front. Oh, right there. Just caught it on the top right side of your screen. Mal was in there for a rebound and just got hooked up.
Back to the action now as the Sioux go on their first power play of the game. Joyce tries to bring it in. He runs into a stone wall in the form of Dornfeld. And Krumpetich goes back for it. Too far for Herkus. Blue backhands it over here. Gets by Richards. Now it comes back to Herkus. Herkus setting up in front. Joyce a shot. The big save. The rebound. Johnson, and it goes through everybody. Oh, Blue with a big save on Joyce. Now Krumpetich trying to get it to Steve Johnson. And it's cleared by Todd Richards. 1:11 remaining on the penalty to Shopek of Minnesota. As the Sioux bring it into Gopher ice. Bob Joyce. Around it goes. It's on top of the board. Finally falls down. Kidd kicks it up to Herkus. And a held puck with a face-off coming up here. North Dakota's power play is the second best in the WCHA with a 27% clip. Last week, the Sioux were 1 of 12. Gophers killing off 79% of their penalties. That's fourth best in the WCHA. Puck goes all the way back to the Sioux line. And it's Mickey Krumpetich for North Dakota. Dishing off for Herkus. Trying to get away from one man, and it's broken up at the line by the Gophers. 39 seconds to go on the penalty, but an interception. Snuggerud gets by one man. Snuggerud circling in front. And that stuff attempt didn't work. Back comes UND. Ian Kidd leaves it for Joyce. Checked off the play by Snuggerud. Now Joyce throws it in the corner. Pitlick clears, but not out as Krumpetich stops it at the line. Krumpetich to Herkus. In the clear, it's Bob Joyce with a shot, and that's deflected by Pitlick. Out to the point again. Krumpetich booms one, and it hits traffic in front. Hit Joyce, I believe. Now Herkus sends it back for Joyce. The penalty is over. Loose puck, Johnson. Centers it right to Tim Berglund of the Minnesota Gophers. And he forwards it to Shopek. It's blocked there. Shopek gets it back, however, and sends it in. 15:28 remaining, second period, 1-1 our score. North Dakota across the line. Herkus' shot deflected at the defense by Shopek. And Richards attempts to bring it out. He's hauled down by Duke. Held puck and a face-off coming up. 15:10 remaining. We'll be back.
Listen to the heartbeat of America.
Larson Chevrolet, looking to the future.
Day Chevrolet.
Park River, North Dakota, home of Scott Doob, number 19 right there. Doob has 4 shorthanded goals this season. Now we're waiting for the Gopher players to get back on the bench. And we're set to go. Everybody's tied up right off the face-off. Finally, Craig Mack dumps it in. Mike Lemoyne has it stolen away by Scott Bloom. Bloom and Lemoyne jam up for it. Puck squirts loose. They can't get the centering pass away. And Mal Parks starts back for the Sioux. Loose puck in front, Koboritsky trying to get the shot away. He's hauled down, and a penalty coming up here with 14:36 to go. We'll be right back.
My amigo Juan just came out from Mexico, so I'm introducing him to my American friend Larry and our favorite beer, Miller Lite. Por favor. Juan, mi Miller Lite de gusto porque it tastes muy bueno. Larry. Ladies, mimosa calories and no gusto filiapo. El comprende?
No, not really.
For mucho great taste, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Does your friend speak any English?
Minnesota penalty on Scott Bloom for high sticking. Number 26 gets it right there at 5:24, and the Sioux get another power play chance.
Well, the Sioux now 1 for 13 in their last 14 power play. No, 1 for 13 in the last 13 opportunities. So they're well below their season average. Hopefully they can break out of that now.
Comes back to Krumpetich at the line. Tried to get it to Kidd, and it's deflected outside the blue line. Now Minnesota dumps it back. Nicky Krumpetich goes back for it. With the 5 players the Sioux have out there right now, they represent a total of 56 power play goals. However, Peter Hankinson, number 9, brings it into the North Dakota end. And lead up more time. 1:33 remaining on the Minnesota penalty. Here's a lead pass to Steve Johnson. It's hard off his stick, and Blue will cover up.
Well, nice speed there by Ian Kidd to the breaking Steve Johnson, and all Johnson did was he got along the left boards and he cut into the middle and got behind the defenseman, and he was wide open. Ian put a pass right on his stick, and it's one of those things when the pass comes on your backhand, it's sometimes spinning or sometimes hits something on the ice, and it just seemed to bounce real hard off his stick and went right back to bounce and went and hopped right over his stick, so he would have been in free.
We want to remind you again, if you were hoping to see the Beach Boys special tonight, that will be seen tomorrow night, approximately 1/2 hour after the hockey game. Beach Boys tomorrow night, approximately 1/2 hour after game 2 of this 2-game total goal series. Here's Kidd from the point, and that shot is deflected by Snuggerud and cleared down the ice. Our score is 1-1. North Dakota scoring in the first period with Nakonechny. Minnesota tying it up here in the second with Snuggerud. This is Bob Joyce, the captain of the Sioux, centers it right to Eric Dornfeld of the Gophers. Holding it in, Krumpetich. Big race for it now. Kidd gets to it. Joyce tries to drop it back, intercepted by the Gophers. Snuggerud to Millen. Corey Millen into Sioux ice. Millen a shot and a stop there by Belfour. 40 seconds to go on the Minnesota penalty. Krumpetich for North Dakota. Can't get around the defender, Pitlick. And the Gophers send it out to the center ice area. Carrying on is Millen. Snuggerud goes down. Millen maintains control. They were changing defensemen. Now Richards is out. He has the puck. Richards goes down, and a penalty will come up here on Herkis. Blue skates to the Gopher bench. Delayed penalty here. As soon as North Dakota touches the puck, they'll blow the whistle. And Benson will get to it, and a penalty call, I believe, on Herkis with 12 minutes and 41 seconds remaining and 5 seconds to go on the Gopher penalty.
Well, let's take a look at this hooking call on Tony Herkis. Here he grabs him right by the arm. Yep, he got him. Now, whether or not that's a dive, you guys decide at home watching on TV, because I'm not going to decide that one. That was pretty close. He did hook his arm. I don't know if it was enough to make him fall like he did, but you can decide on your own whether or not that was a Class A dive or not. But he did hook him. There's no question. The replay showed that.
As I've said before, maybe we should get the UND swimming coach Mike Stromberg in here to help judge those calls. Bloom is out of the box, and it's a power play now for Minnesota as Richards gets that shot away, and Belfour smothers it with 1:49 remaining on Herkis' penalty. 12:30 to go in the second period. 1-1 is the score.
Eddie Belfour is the type of goaltender that he likes to keep things going as much as he can. So you'll notice whenever he makes a save, he'll put it down, and he'll make an attempt at least to give it to another player. But I tell you, if there's a Gopher player coming in anywhere, he's not going to take any chances. A miscue or anything between him and his teammate could result in a turnover. So although he likes to, and the referees get on the goaltenders in this league to keep the play going, get the game going, you have to be careful. And Eddie is very careful as to if there is a Gopher player coming in, hey, just jump on it.
Now Minnesota sets up the power play. Richards over to Shopek. Shopek in the corner to McSwain, trying to get it to Millen. Doob fans on it again. Finally clears it. 3 strikes and you're out, Scott.
Luckily he got that one.
McSwain leads the Gophers with 15 power play goals. Millen has 11, and this is Millen with the puck. Around it goes to Lemoyne. Ahead to Scott Doob and cleared. 1:09 remaining on that penalty to Tony Herkus. Todd Richards, number 16. Carrying in, looking for help now. Richards has Millen at the blue line. This is Millen. Back to Richards. Over to Shopek. Richards again to Shopek. Shopek skates in, hits traffic, the rebound. Snuggerud, the shot is wide. Now McSwain, or Shopek rather. Tried to center it again, and it's blocked by Joyce, and here come the Sioux 2-on-1. Joyce with Doob. Joyce a shot, glove save, Blue the rebound. Behind the net, Doob to Joyce. And an anxious moment there for the Gophers. Stolen away now by Minnesota. 21 seconds to go on the man advantage as McSwain carries in, but Millen is offside. And Millen argues that call, as does McSwain. Here's another look at that chance for Doob and a Joyce right here.
Bob Joyce just takes it down the right side. He's looking, decides there's nothing to do but shoot, makes a good shot up high on John Blue. Then it gets away from Blue. And Scott Doob just can't get at it. He's trying to get away from the defender back there, but he can't get at it. There's a wide open net. That's discouraging for a player to see an open net like that and not be able to get at the puck.
Bloom's shot blocked at the defense. They tee it up now for Eric Dornfeld. 9 seconds to go on a penalty. Shot thrown back out to the line. Dornfeld tried to catch up to it, but it rolls outside the blue line, so they have to regroup. Herkus is out of the box. Now the Gophers bring it in. Orth the shot. Stick save. Belfour the rebound. Goes right back to him as Bloom got a weak shot away.
Nice save by Eddie. See him watch the puck. Back to him. He's right on it right now. Gopher player takes a swat at it, and that's what Tony Herkus got a little mad at there at the end. And rightly so. You're supposed to protect your goaltender. That's kind of an unwritten rule in hockey. Is if somebody takes a swipe at your goalie, get him out of there. You don't have to fight or whatever. Although it does break out in a fight sometimes, but that is an unwritten rule in hockey that you protect your goaltender at all costs.
Well, the Gophers tried to send out some new defensemen, and referee Mito Martinello said nothing doing. The home team has the last change, and Craig Mack and David Espy have to go back to the bench. Trumpetich skates out of there for UND, or does he? Finally, he clears it to Steve Johnson. Backhand to Davidson. Trying to get around Dornfeld. Davidson goes down. Now Dornfeld goes down. Dornfeld goes back the other way, tied up by Johnson. Loose puck, trying to get it in front. And it goes back of the net and around the far side. Here's Kidd teeing it up, and it's wide. Keeping it in is Barron, but he puts it right on the stick of Pitlick, and he clears the zone. All the way down, icing waved off as Kidd gets there. And the Sioux clear to center, only to have the Gophers break it up. Rolls back to the Sioux line. Barron drops it back. Hankinson picks it up in front. Broughton a shot. Save Belfour. The rebound cleared aside by Barron. Broughton again a shot and a goal! From a bad angle, Paul Broughton scores to put Minnesota ahead 2-1.
Well, Belfour makes the save here, and then Murray Barron clears it to the corner. Then number 7, Paul Broughton, just scoots around and from a bad angle just puts it up to the net, and it fools Eddie Belfour to the short side, and it seemed to go off his shoulder and up into the net. There you can see the bad angle. It was almost like a desperation shot, you know, throw it up to the net because there's nothing else to do. And Paul Broughton looked a little surprised, rightfully so, that that puck ended up in the net.
Minnesota ball, scored by number 7. Broughton with his 17th of the season unassisted at 10:33. And it's Minnesota 2, North Dakota 1. But back come the Sioux. Perenica, a long shot, and that's deflected wide by Blue. Around it goes. Berglund watches it now. Heaves it ahead. Broughton couldn't see it. Now Mack shoots it in. Belfour will stop it for Mike Lemoyne. Over to Nakonechny now. He has the only UND goal in this game. Picked off by David Espy. Lemoyne banks it over. McSwain gets to it. McSwain can't get the pass away. Now it's bouncing in the air, finally knocked down. Mack throws it into the slot, and it gets by McSwain. Grant Perenica clears to center. Schopek throws it back in. And it is whistled offside. 8:24 to go. We'll be right back.
Updated and unimitated, the Elks.
Paul Broughton of Roseau, Minnesota has just given the Gophers a 2-1 lead on the Sioux.
That's a tough goal to give up for North Dakota, too. It's one that, you know, that shouldn't have happened almost. It seems almost harmless, and everyone seems kind of stunned that it went in. And in games like this, those are the tough goals to give up.
Just kind of slipped in there on the far post. And the Gophers have the lead for the first time in this game. Now Richards closing in, a shot hits traffic and deflects off the glass. Parks and Cates jam in after it. Shorsky and Kidd joining in the fray, and a face-off will result. Todd Richards, he has 8 goals this year, 6 of them coming on the power play, 1 shorthanded. How do you like that for specialty teams?
He's a specialty man. Leads Gophers in defenseman scoring. Him and Schopek back there leading the defensive core for the Gophers. There's a lot of talent. The Minnesota defensemen, although not all that big, but they have very good hands for defensemen, and they move around very, very well.
Schopek's shot is blocked by Brent Bobick. Now he throws it back in again, and Barrett feeds it ahead to Joyce. Herkus leaves it, or Bobick leaves it for Herkus, a shot. Blue to stop the rebound, Joyce, a shot and a goal!
Murray Barron digs it out here. Here's Bobby Joyce, you see him right, that's the goal scorer right there. Flips a nice pass up. Kidd leaves it for, or Bobick leaves it for Herkus. Herkus takes the shot. Blue makes the initial save, bounces off him into the corner. Watch Bobby Joyce. Takes the shot right upstairs, just walks right towards the net. That's a dang big goal for North Dakota at this time, because there you see the captain, Bobby Joyce, right there. Just walked out, took a shot way upstairs, Blue was down. Real nice shot. And that's a big goal, because it seemed to me at that point, when the Gophers scored to make it 2-1, seemed like North Dakota was kind of down, and they seemed just a little bit lagging compared to what the Gophers were doing. So that right now is a big goal halfway through the game.
That is goal number 47 this season for Bob Joyce. He already holds the single season record for North Dakota. Herkus and Bobick assisting at 12:20, and a penalty coming up on Minnesota. Joyce, another shot, and a big save there by Blue. And a little discussion after the fact. Dornfeld checks Joyce from behind. Now Dornfeld and Joyce want to get into it. Barron intervenes. As we've had the first scuffle of the game. There was a penalty coming up on Minnesota, and we'll see if any further penalties result.
can see how quickly the outlook and the momentum of a hockey game can change. You know, one minute Minnesota's leading 2-1. 30 seconds later, the score's tied 2-2, and it looks like North Dakota's going to be on the power play.
Time of the penalty will be 12:35. And the Sioux also with a man in the box. I can't see. That's Millen for Minnesota. Along with, I believe that is Dornfeld, yes.
And it looked like Bobick in the North Dakota side.
And they're posting the penalty times now. The Minnesota players, Millen and Dornfeld, each get 2 minutes. And North Dakota gets a double minor. And the result will be a Minnesota power play after the first 2 minutes elapsed. Bob Joyce expressing his displeasure with Mito Martinello.
Well, obviously what happened was the initial call, I think, was a tripping in the middle of the ice. And then the altercation must have transpired into Bobick getting 4 minutes and another Gopher player getting 2 minutes. So what we have is 2 minor penalties for Minnesota and 1 double minor for North Dakota.
But actually, I was getting ahead of myself. The Sioux are actually on a man advantage right now for the next 2 minutes.
And then they'll be down.
And then they'll be down 2. So the Sioux setting up the power play. Herkus a shot, and it's deflected just wide. We'll give you the penalty rundown in a moment. Joyce a shot, and that doesn't go. Barron is the penalized player for North Dakota. And now the play is stopped. We have a chance to recap it. Barron gets 2 for checking from behind and 2 for roughing. Minnesota, Millen, 2 for hooking. Dornfeld, 2 for roughing. So we've got a minute 33 to go on North Dakota's man advantage, and then the Gophers will be on a power play for 2 minutes.
Well, Barron was the third man in, and I think usually the referee's thinking is, hey, the third man in, we're going to stick you with whatever we can, because when 2 guys are going at it, the third guy isn't supposed to go in there. So maybe they were a little bit rougher on Barron for being the third man, and he did jump right in.
Here is Herkus for North Dakota, getting around Broughton. Herkus closing in. Herkus a shot, saved by Blue with the glove hand. And a collision after that save.
Look at Tony Herkus' magic on the boards. And then he cuts them to the center. He knows it's a better scoring opportunity from center. Puts it up. Oh, John Blue with the quick glove, and we've seen that 3 times tonight with John Blue, and he's got a very, very quick glove hand, and North Dakota should be able to realize that by now. Hey, don't shoot high on his glove side. If you got to go to the glove side, go low. He's got a lightning quick glove hand, and it's going to take an awful hard quick shot to get it by that, I think.
2-2 our score, 6:35 remaining, second period. 1:10 to go on the North Dakota power play. Here's Johnson over for Bob Joyce. Back to Herkus. They've got Ian Kidd stationed in front of the net. Herkus has the pass blocked by Stuggerud. And a race for it now. Belfour comes way out of his net and plays it to Joyce. And the Sioux skate away from danger right there. Herkus brings it back. Herkus with Joyce. Herkus takes Schopek out now. Herkus cutting back. Herkus looking for help. The weak pass out to Kidd. Over for Johnson now. Johnson a shot. And a save by Blue on the screen as Joyce was in front. Joyce thought he had a goal.
Well, let's watch what happens here. Tony Herkus getting hooked. Look at him. Ian Kidd takes it, feeds it over to Steve Johnson. Takes a shot. Blue is down. Almost gets under him. Bobby Joyce thought that went in. Blue comes up with it somehow.
Now we're down to 30 seconds on that North Dakota power play. Again, after which the Gophers will have a 2-minute man advantage. Broughton on the draw with Koborinsky. Russ Parrott Over for Tom Benson. He shoots. The save by Blue. Broughton golfs it around. All the way down the ice it goes, and Belfort skates out of his net to leave it for Parent. Here's Benson for the Sioux, whipping it around. Lee Davidson will catch up with it. Plays it out to Parrott. Outside the line to Benson, and the Sioux have to regroup. And Minnesota's penalties are over. The Gophers now have a 5-on-4 situation for 154. The Sioux send out Doob and Herkus to kill the penalty. Doob gets it ahead. It's off the glove of Herkus. Rolls right to Blue, who directs it to Skarda. Over here for David Espy. Pass behind Tate, but Skarda is there. Randy Skarda can't get around Benson. Another shot by the Gophers. Tate, and that's off the mark. Doob losing the puck. Millen now. Bounces right back to Tom Chorsky. In front. Deflected by Benson. 2-2 our score. David Espy from the point. A shot just wide. A rebound to Richards. Trying to find some help now. The whistle is blown. And what's the call? A man in the crease?
Man in the crease, yep.
A Gopher player apparently skated in the goal crease, which is an automatic whistle. So they'll face it off with 1:09 to go on the penalty to Barron. 4:34 remaining in period number 2.
Mike Lemoyne causing a lot of distraction in front of the net there. I think he's the one that pushed the Gopher player into the crease, and Mike's a good, strong young player, and he really uses his strength well in front of the net. And I tell you what, it takes a lot of strength in this league. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in front of that net, and sometimes it's not too pretty, and you've got to have a lot of strength in front, whether defenseman or forward, to take what they call the trenches. It gets a little rough sometimes.
WCHA is no place for the meek, I can promise you that. 53 seconds to go now on the Gopher power play as Chopek leads the charge for Minnesota. Lemoyne slaps it back out. Now picking it up is Bob Joyce. Joyce cutting in, a backhand. He can't get the shot away. He was on the backhand and he couldn't get the shot off. Now Herkus with Chopek on him. Scooping it up, Snuggerud, number 18. 26 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Millen wheeling at center. And that is an obvious offside as Snuggerud was way over on the left wing. I don't know if Joyce lost that in his skates or what there, Dean.
He tried to cut to the net, and like he does so well, he keeps his feet moving, goes towards the net, and he protects the puck. He gets the puck way out, and he protects that with his body so the defenseman can't get at it. Big John Blue came out, and he came right at Joyce, and he was very aggressive in playing Bobby Joyce, because if he knows that he gets that step inside the slot, he can beat him like a rented mule, and you've got to be careful on Bobby Joyce.
Beat him like a rented mule? Okay, that's not another Gino-ism, is it?
That's a Gino-ism.
Oh, is it? Well, that's a new one. We learn something every week here. The penalty's over, and a shot by Espy is deflected. The rebound, stuff attempt, no good by McSwain. Comes out to the point. Espy fires it again, and it's deflected wide. Mack sends it back of the net. Centering pass attempt is blocked by Belfort. Now Tate centers it again. Chorsky takes a swipe at it, and it bounces out to center. Kidd is there for North Dakota. Espy comes back. Slapped back in by McSwain. The Gophers change on the fly. Lemoyne break out a pass attempt here to Koberinsky. Kober dumps it in. Dornfeld gets to it ahead of Doob. Now Randy Skarda. Off the boards it comes to Steve Orth. Scott Bloom backhands it into the Sioux zone. Parks for the Sioux flips it up into the crowd. 2:35 to go. We'll be right back.
There's equity built into your home. And now you can use that equity with a home equity loan from First National Bank in Grand Forks. Use it to add on to your home, for your child's education, or to buy a new car. It's your choice. And the interest you pay could be 100% tax deductible. A home equity loan, now from First National Bank in Grand Forks.
it has bright possibilities.
Back to the action here in the closing moments of the second period. Rough parent for North Dakota over here for Mickey Krumpetich. Krumpetich missed last Saturday's game with a thigh bruise, but he's back tonight. Now Dornfeld for Minnesota, run into by Davidson. Bouncing puck, and it's Steve Orth for the Gophers. Orth wheeling at center. Play broken up. And Mickey Krumpetich takes over for the Sioux, drops it to Parent. Over for Benson now, is the Sioux a little off right here. But here is Davidson. Davidson with Krumpetich. Lee Davidson putting the moves on. But it comes right to Minnesota's Eric Dornfeld. Vito Martinello gets in the way, and it's cleared to center. 2-2 our score with 1:39 remaining, second period. Oh, Blue falls down behind the net. No Sioux players were there, so no damage was done, except to Blue's ego. Now that pass hit the Sioux bench and came back into play, so we'll have the whistle.
It's interesting in these matchups, Pat, to see the different coaching techniques and you know, different games they play with each other. There's you see a couple of the North Dakota fans, but these two coaches, you know, they've been through the grind. Doug Woog hasn't been in the WCHA that long, but he's seen some pressure situations and he's seen some playoff action. And it's just interesting to watch and see the kind of line changes they make and the different kind of strategies. And you don't really see that as a player either. Once you get up in the stands and up in the press box, you can kind of watch and see, and it's kind of interesting.
Oh, this is the second guesser's paradise up here. We're down to 1:07 to go. As Herkus leads the Sioux on a rush. Herkus with Joyce. Tony Herkus. Ridden off the play by Schopek, but Herkus shoots it in. Ian Kidd gets there. Gives it to Joyce, who's wrapped up by Broughton. Fans want an interference call. Joyce in the corner, 2-on-1. Schopek and Broughton tie him up, and the face-off will result.
The fans wanting a penalty on Paul Broughton for holding Bobby Joyce, and I don't know if it got on the screen, but Paul kind of held up his arms like, I didn't do anything, leave me alone. The fans disagreed with that, Paul. Sorry, you're on the road.
And the Gophers are 11-7-1 on the road. Two of those losses coming here in Grand Forks in January. Now Koborinsky on the face-off with Corey Millen. 2-2 our score with 43 seconds to go. Koborinsky tossed out now, and Doob will come in. Millen also thrown out of the face-off. Now Doug Woog directing traffic from the bench. Let's see who he sends into the circle. Looks like Snuggerud. Now Granite's positioning over on the right wing. Looks like we're finally ready to go, and the puck is down. Snuggerud, bouncing puck right in front. And the Gophers steer it out of trouble. Lemoyne holding it in. Doob spins and shoots it wide. Snuggerud out to center. Granite's tied up on the play. Carrying on is Millen, but his teammate would have been offside. Doob comes back for the Sioux. Run into the boards by Dornfeld. Granite swoops in for the Gophers. Too far for a teammate. It rolls all the way down. Belfour leaving it for Benson. 6 seconds to go. Puck flips into the Gopher bench, and with 5 seconds remaining, we'll face it off. As you see Corey Millen getting up slowly in a collision with Benson.
Boy, what a pure skater that Corey Millen is, number 8 on your screen. He's probably, without a doubt, the purest skater in the league, if not the country. His stride is so smooth, and he's such a fast, quick skater that he can really do some damage. But Corey Millen is fantastic in open ice. If you get in his way a little bit, that's how you stop Corey Millen. You kind of interrupt his momentum, so to speak. But once he gets the open ice, he's extremely, extremely dangerous. And that's how teams defend him, is they get in his way and they kind of just razzle him a little bit in that way.
Off the draw, Snuggerud, a shot hits traffic. And that'll do it as the horn sounds to end the second period. And getting up slowly is Randy Skarda, skating behind the UND goal, and I believe Skarda might have gotten a piece of that shot off the stick of Dave Snuggerud. But the second period is over, and our score is North Dakota 2, Minnesota 2.
Well, he got definite momentum swing, I think, there, Pat. I think back to when Bobby Joyce scored his goal to make it 2-2. Before that, the Sioux seemed to be hanging their daubers a little bit. They just didn't seem to be all that fired up about the way things were going. You know, you didn't see that real intensity that you've seen in previous weekends and in the first period. So that, I see, that goal kind of put some life into them. And then the following penalty, you know, it just seemed to be a momentum swing. So right now, you know, it's 2-2. But that I think we're going to look back to that and say, you know, that could have been it. Minnesota scores there. It could be 3-1. Then it could be a different hockey game. So that is a key goal at a crucial time, I think.
Is it as close as you expected?
Well, you know, I guess I thought North Dakota would be, at this point in time, up by a goal or two. That's the beginning of the game. But when they started the first period, they, you know, played a pretty good period of hockey. I didn't like the way the Sioux played the first part of that second period. Like I said, they just seemed to be hanging their heads a little bit, and they didn't seem to have that real fire and gusto that you have to have in playoff hockey to be successful. And, you know, and not being, you know, real technical or anything, but, you know, I saw that, and it seems like you can see it in their eyes when they don't really have that fire. And I think that came alive, and that came to them after Joyce scored his the second goal of the game.
Minnesota opened the scoring in that second period with Snuggerud at 32 seconds, tying it at 1. Rotten with his 17th of the year at 10:33, putting Minnesota ahead 2-1. And then at the 12:20 mark, Bob Joyce, number 47 on the season. And that's where we are right now. Minnesota and North Dakota tied at 2, live from the UND Winter Sports Center. When we come back, we will look at all 10 finalists for the Hobey Baker Award. That's coming up right after this.
Label is the same, but the contents is Glidden's new improved spread satin, a new paint that gives you everything you expect in a quality paint, plus unequaled scrubbability. It's new improved Glidden spread satin, the paint that in recent scrub resistance tests on the 10 best-selling interior paints outscrubbed them all. Regularly $11.99, it's yours now in ready mixed or tinted colors at only $9.99 a gallon at the home of economy, Grand Forks, Grafton, and Devil's Lake.
Too much trouble to wash the grime and salt off your car in the winter? Not with the convenience of Valley Car Wash. A full-service wash includes vacuuming, cleaning inside windows, dashboard, door panels and jambs, white walls, wheel covers, and towel dry. Or choose from 3 other treatments with the following options: sealer wax, polish wax, underbody bath, rust inhibitors, and air freshener. Let the experts at Valley Car Wash pamper your car with the full-service wash, the special wash, the super wash, or the works.
Hi, Jerry here. Let me show you all that you have been waiting for.
The new Ski and Bike Shop downtown Grand Forks is now open year-round to offer the fun things of summer. Not only do they have the top names in bikes, skateboards, water skis, and a complete line of accessories, but they offer quality, full service, and the satisfaction you've come to expect.
From us, the new Ski and Bike Shop downtown Grand Forks.
North Dakota 2, Minnesota 2, with 1 period remaining here in Game 1 of this 2-game total goal series, the WCHA playoff finals, live from the UND Winter Sports Center. Well, whether you agree with them or not, the choices for this year's Hobey Baker Award are down to 10. The Hobie Baker Award, of course, is college hockey's version of the Heisman Trophy. And we will know by the end of the month if the winner is UND's Tony Herkus or one of 9 other finalists. Here with a profile of all the candidates is Jim Rich of KBJR-TV in Duluth.
This year will be the 7th time the Decathlon Club in Bloomington, Minnesota has honored the top college hockey player in the country with the awarding of the Hobie Baker. The award is given to the player who displays outstanding characteristics in all phases of hockey, is a full-time student, shows strength of character both on and off the ice, and has contributed to the team effort and should have good scholastic achievement, sportsmanship, and aspiration. College hockey coaches from around the country vote for their candidates, and then after the ballots are tabulated, the 10 highest vote getters become the 10 finalists. They are then given to an anonymous selection committee, and their vote determines the Hobie Baker winner. Here is this year's top 10 finalists. The only nominee from last year's top 10 is Gary Emmons of Northern Michigan. The super sniper of the Wildcats battled through injuries this season to finish with 32 goals and 34 assists. Emmons holds most of the school's scoring records and also holds a modern national record by scoring at least 1 goal in 18 consecutive games. Another nominee who certainly has a scoring touch is Western Michigan senior defenseman Wayne Gagne. Gagne became only the 2nd defenseman in league history to win the CCHA scoring championship. He had 77 points this season. He owns all of the Broncos' scoring records for defensemen, and he owns 4 CCHA records, and he also holds the NCAA West regional record for points by a defenseman in a career. Boston University's big gun John Cullen is up for the award this year as well. The senior center has led the team in scoring 3 straight years, and this year he became the school's all-time leading scorer with 239 points. Boston College is the only school with 2 nominees this year. Sophomore sensation Craig Janney is one candidate. Janney, the Hockey East scoring champion, is a flashy playmaker, as evidenced by this year's totals, as his assists are double his goals. The other finalist from Boston College is defenseman Brian Leach. Leach is the first freshman ever nominated in the 7-year history of the award. An outstanding prep player, Leach has made the transition to the college game quickly as he's become one of the best blue liners in Hockey East. Another finalist this year is Wisconsin's Tony Granato. The Badgers' leading scorer is having his best season ever. Granato anchors Wisconsin's top line with Paul Ranheim and Steve Tuttle, and he is currently Wisconsin's 4th all-time leading scorer. Harvard is the school which 2 Hobie Baker winners have come from, and this year they have another candidate. Lane McDonald, a senior winger for the Crimson, has a deadly shot. This season he finished as the ECAC's leading goal scorer, and he will finish his career at Harvard in the school's top 10 of all-time scorers. Joe Neuendijk of Cornell University is another candidate. The junior forward has won the ECAC scoring championship this season as he scores in bunches. 5 times this season, Neuendijk scored hat tricks. Tony Herkus of North Dakota, the nation's leading scorer with 98 points, is also up for the Hobie Baker Award. Herkus returned to North Dakota after a year with the Canadian Olympic team. And what a difference a year made. Herkus, with 40 goals and 48 assists, ran away with the WCHA regular season scoring title. And he is one big reason why the Sioux are the #1 team in the country. And the Division III nominee is Tom Sasso of Babson College. He won the Division III honors last year as well. This year's winner will be announced at Joe Louis Arena during the NCAA Final Four that will be held at the end of this month.
Well, a lot of Sioux fans upset that Bob Joyce was not included in that Final 10, but that's the way it goes. Tony Herkus at least did make it. Bob Joyce exhibiting real class last week. He said, "That's too bad. I hope Tony gets it." Herkus, equally classy, said Bob Joyce deserved it. So tremendous respect between those 2 players, Bob Joyce and Tony Herkus, on the Sioux hockey team. That Hobie Baker Award, again, will be announced during the NCAA Final Four. Our condolences today to the Warroad Warriors. Warroad lost in the semifinals of the Minnesota High School Hockey Tournament. Burnsville, a 5-3 winner this afternoon. In case you didn't catch the score, it was Burnsville 5, Warroad 3. Burnsville goes to the title game again. The Burnsville club has won the last 2 state titles. Burnsville playing the winner of tonight's Greenway Coleraine versus Bloomington Kennedy game. Warroad will play the loser of that game in the 3rd place contest tomorrow afternoon. Right here it's 2-2, North Dakota and Minnesota after 2. We'll be back with a recap of that second period right after this.
Protection, service, strength. They're what you expect from your insurance. We believe it. And as independent agents, we won't settle for less when we provide your insurance. That's why we represent Kemper for quality, protection, and value. Insurance you can count on with our local service behind it. Let us put the strength of the cavalry to work for you.
For Kemper coverage, see Jack L. and Bob Axman of Thompson Insurance, Grand Forks.
Great meals start from great beginnings. That's why we choose to offer you only the freshest, most delightful vegetables. We take pride in our quality meats because we know you take pride in your tender, juicy meals. It's no accident that the fruit you get from us is so succulent and sweet. We have quality beginnings, so you can have satisfying endings.
We're Lever's Super Value in Crookston, Devil's Lake, Jamestown, Rolla, and Rugby.
At Northern Liquidators, our dollar stretching values save you more. This week, you'll find a limited selection of beautiful Bennington Winthrop desks with hutch tops. These classics are constructed of solid pine and feature leaded glass doors, automatic glides for desktop support, and functional interior lighting. These desks would normally retail for $1,200, but you can pick them up now for as little as $399. So stop by Northern Liquidators today and take advantage of these dollar stretching values.
Where are you headed?
GF Goodrib's, Grand Forks.
That's a 300-mile trek across wilderness full of bear and wolverine. You must be hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry, but it's not just that. I want atmosphere and fine dining. Prime rib and lobster, steak and crab, and some of them shrimp supposed to melt in your mouth.
I thought they just had ribs.
They got ribs, racks of them, big as a house and delicious, too. But more than anything, they've got fine dining.
Minnesota opened the scoring in that second period at the 32-second mark. Dave Snuggerud from Grannis and Chopek tying the game at 1-1. We'll see it right here.
Well, Chopek gets fed a nice pass here between the legs, and he just goes in and watch him fake the shot. Right there, he fakes it. Gets to the bad angle, like I say. That wasn't a good angle shot. The only place he had to go is between the legs, and that's where he put it. Good low shot. There he fakes it, steps into it, takes a shot, low shot. It's the only place he could have scored that goal, I think, from that angle. And went right between Eddie Belfour's legs. Again, not real characteristic of Eddie Belfour, between the legs.
Snuggerud's 25th of the season, but at 10:33, Paul Broughton gave Minnesota the lead with his 17th unassisted.
Well, Murray Barron clears the puck here to the corner, and Broughton kind of spins, turns towards the goal, lets the shot go, and I think that puck, the goal judge talking to him in between the period, said that it went off Ian Kidd. You saw Kidd was out there against Paul Broughton. That's another thing that I mentioned. Long shots and bad angle shots, get out of the way. They were saying that Eddie Belfour was talking to Ian Kidd after that goal, saying that went off a part of Ian Kidd, whether it was a stick or whether it was his body or whatever, and deflected it up top. And that maybe explains, how that goal went in, because it surprised everybody. All of a sudden it was in the net, so that could have very well deflected off of Ian Kidd's stick or body.
Perhaps it was. The Gophers sure weren't complaining. They had a 2-1 lead, but at 12:20, Bob Joyce from Tony Herkus and Brent Bobick ties it at 2.
Well, Bob Joyce makes a nice feed here up to, I think it's Bobick. He leaves it for Herkus. Herkus goes in, takes a shot. Bob Joyce is going to go right to the net now. Going to get the puck. There's nobody on him. Hey, why not walk out in front? See what happens. Boom. John Blue was down on his knees. Bob knew he had to go up top, went way up top and picked the corner. Here we'll go all the way down the ice again. Joyce, nice. Up to Bobick. Bobick tips it to Herkus. Herkus gets over the blue line, fires a shot. John Blue can't control that shows you how important controlling the rebound is. Bobby Joyce is right on top of it, goes in unprotected, goes right up top left-hand corner. Real nice goal by
by Bob Joyce, and really you can't explain how much it means for a goaltender to keep the puck inside of him. The rebound came out, all of a sudden Bob was just uncovered and walked in and unmolested, made a nice shot.
And with that assist, Tony Herkus hits 100 points for the season. Back with the third period after this.
Modern Chrysler Center is going to break all sales records. Receive 3.7% financing and/or rebates up to $1,500 on most new units. We will not be undersold. Save up to $1,000 more on demos. All used vehicles have been drastically reduced with sale prices clearly marked in the windshield. Plus, many qualify for 5.9% factory financing for 48 months. Get a free Everglow kerosene heater. So hurry out to our record-breaking sale at Modern Chrysler, AMC, Jeep, Renault, Grand Ford.
Hi, I'm Doug Norby of Norby's Office Services. We're proud to be an authorized dealer of IBM typewriters and supplies. We also do a lot of office planning and remodeling, but it's important that you know we offer free delivery on everyday office supplies. We want you to keep us in mind, whether you need a new typewriter, office furniture, or a box of paper clips. We're always here ready to help at Norby's Office Services, 18 South 4th, downtown Grand Forks.
Express Photo in Devil's Lake knows that the world's most cherished pictures are the ones you take, so they take pride in giving you quality prints with the use of the revolutionary new KISS photo processor. The Miracle KISS photo processor takes your 110, 126, 135, and disc film and delivers extraordinary prints. Extra prints and enlargements take only minutes with the KISS photo processing system, so you can share the moment with friends and relatives. Express Photo uses Kodak paper exclusively for the very best quality. Visit Express Photo Devil's Lake today.
North Dakota 2, Minnesota 2, with the third period coming up. If this game should end in a tie, there will be no overtime since it is a two-game total goal series. History made in that second period. Tony Herkus becoming the first UND player to score 100 points in a season.
Boy,
surprise,
I tell you,
surprise.
What an outstanding record that is. And, you know, we talked about it a little bit last week, and if you just sit back and think, and if you ever have the chance to look through, you know, some old programs or whatnot, just think about how many quality hockey players have played here and have never reached that plateau, and Tony Herkus has done it this year. And hey, like I say, we've seen history, and it's been an extremely enjoyable year watching the extreme talent that he has.
Now Joyce in front, Bobick trying to get it back to Herkus. They swipe at it, and Blue somehow gets on top of it in the middle of that jam. With 12 seconds elapsed here in period 3.
Good flurry in there by North Dakota. Brent Bobick and Herkus just pounding away at it. But like you say, Blue, as he's done all night tonight, is playing pretty well. He's holding his ground, and he's taking command out there. You can kind of tell a goalie when he has command of a game. He's playing aggressively, and he's playing very confidently. He's not back on his heels. And he's come out a couple of times, and he's playing a very solid game in the nets for Minnesota.
Here's Kidd off the draw. Stick save Blue, and the rebound taken by Corey Miller. The saves in that second period, 12 for Blue. He has 20 for the game, 7 for Belfour. He has 19. Herkus gets the shot away. It's blocked by Chopek, who skates off rather slowly. He felt all of that one. Now Millen. But play is whistled offside with 19:24 remaining. And also with that assist on Joyce's goal, Herkus has tied Mark Taylor's record of 59 assists in a single season. Herkus officially 41 goals and 59 assists for an even 100 points. Taylor set that record, by the way, back in the 79-80 season. Some pretty good company. Tom Benson going back to retrieve for the North Dakota Sioux. Steve McSwain in there bothering him. Now Lemoyne tries his hand at it. Carrying it out is Davidson. Checked off the play, and Cates controls for the Gophers. To Lance Pitlick. Dornfeld now up ahead to McSwain. McSwain, a native of Anchorage, Alaska. Lemoyne coughing it up. Here's Cates, a shot blocked by Benson. Rolls on top of the boards. It finally comes down to Steve Johnson. Has Krumpetich breaking out, and here's Mickey Krumpetich. Bumping with Dornfeld, passing off, attempting to get it to Davidson, and Case is there, but Davidson steals Davidson. Loose puck, poked out of there by Blue. Krumpetich's shot, net stop. McSwain fires it around. Lemoyne overskates it, and here come the Gophers with McSwain. A long shot, and the Gophers change on the fly. Still in the Sioux end, Johnson. Up ahead to Davidson, who was all alone, but it hit by him. Gets by Davidson, and the Gophers clear to center. Now Doob flips it in as the Sioux complete their line change. Here's Ian Kidd being bothered by Hankinson, the freshman from Edina. Loose puck comes to Paul Broughton. Stolen away by Koborinsky. Here come the Sioux. 2-on-2. Koborinsky trying to get around Espy. A bad angle. Shot at a goal! Oh, how did he get it in? Blue cannot believe it, but the Sioux take a 3-2 lead.
Well, let's watch and see how this went in, Pat. Koborinsky's basically one-on-one here with Espy. He gets to about almost the red line, takes a shot, and it just squeezes in between John Blue's blocker and the pipe. Let's get a little closer view of it here from this angle. It's just a one-on-one here. The defenseman Espy forces Koborinsky wide, just takes a desperation shot here, and it just sneaks in there. Couldn't have been more than an inch between John Blue's blocker and the pipe, and all of a sudden, to the amazement of the crowd and the players and us, it was laying in the net.
Well, Broughton got a fluky in the second period. Now Koborinsky gets a weird one in the third. His 19th of the year at 2:15. Mal Park's the lone assist. And it's 3-2 North Dakota. Bouncing puck rolls outside the line. Berglund has to go back for it, but Koborinsky takes it away. Back to Barron. Barron tried to spring it ahead to Parks. Chopek is there for the Gophers. Held in by Kidd, who's bumped off the play by Broughton. And here is Berglund for Minnesota. A weak shot taken away by Barron, intercepted by Broughton. Out to the point. Chopek a drive off the glove of Belfour, who smothers it.
Well, we're seeing some good play from the goaltenders, but we're also seeing some play that the shots seem to be surprising these goaltenders. Eddie Belfour just sees this shot at the last second, just catches it, and it just surprised him, and it seems like they're seeing blind spots or something. Overall, these two goaltenders are playing very well, but we've seen in instances in both of these guys that they either don't see them or their angles are wrong or whatever. They've just had little lapses of, it seems they just catch the puck at the last second, or else they don't, and it's in the net, as we've seen twice.
Now Todd Richards and Perry Nakonechny bang in for the puck. Richards thrown to the ice by Nako. Bloom at the point for the Gophers. A shot sticks by Belfour off the glass. Now the puck is lying on top of the boards, and Nakonechny freezes it with 16:52 remaining in the third period. Television rights to UND hockey have been purchased by WDAZ-TV from the University of North Dakota. Any use of this telecast without the permission of WDAZ-TV is prohibited. Jeff Bowen, Perry Nakonechny, Grant Taranika out for the Sioux. Steve Orth, Scott Bloom, Randy Skarda out for the Gophers. Loose puck off the draw. Skarda can't get his stick down on it, but Taranika does. Up ahead, it's too far for Bowen. Chopek guides it over for Richards. Here is Orth. Now Skarda leaving it back, but Bowen is there for North Dakota. Jeff Bowen from East Grand Forks tosses it in. Oh, Nakonechny and Orth had a little scuffle there behind the play. A little stick work. Now Bowen checks Orth from behind. Nothing called there. Here's Richards. Another skirmish behind the play in the corner to our right with Taranika and Chopek. Now Richards for the Gophers. Richards moving in. Stolen away by the Sioux and cleared. Sioux lead at 3-2 on a goal by Scott Koborinsky here in the third. And the whistle is blown. Offside.
You know, the big talk before this series, Pat, was maybe there would be a little lack of incentive for these two teams because they both feel that they're going to be reinstated into the final 8 anyway. But we've seen some great play here, and I don't care if you were playing tiddlywinks out in a baseball field somewhere. With these two teams, there's always going to be great hockey play just because of the traditional rivalry that there is.
Well, we've seen it so far tonight. A close game here. 3-2, North Dakota leads with 15:26 to go in the third period. Game 1 of a 2-game total goal series. But Millen gets the shot away for the Gophers, and Belfour covers up. The winner of this series, I'll get to that in a minute. Here's the save again.
Well, again, Corey Millen just getting it and putting it up to the net. Heck, why not? Some strange things have happened tonight. I think you may see a lot of the guys, maybe the coach is saying, hey, guys, put it up to the net. You never know what's going to happen, and that should be a rule of thumb anyway. Just put it up to the net. And
Pitlick's shot is deflected by Belfour up into the seats. I was going to say the winner of this series is likely to get home ice in the first round of the NCAA tournament next week, the final 8. But it depends on who you talk to. WCHA Commissioner Otto Breitenbach said today in Grand Forks that the loser of this series will probably go out east, and the winner will be at home in the first round. But there are a few people in the Gopher camp who think that even if the Gophers win this series, that North Dakota will still get a higher seed. Here's Joyce, 2-on-1, a shot, and a goal! Blue got a piece of it, but not enough. And Joyce gets number 48, number 2 tonight.
well, Bob Joyce will show you how he's had 47 goals before this one. It's that good, hard, quick wrist shot. That's his bread and butter, folks. He lets it go, and it just overpowers the sprawling John Blue, and it just rolls in the net, and he tries to get back and get it, but it's too late, John. Sorry. Bobby Joyce gets over the blue line, and that is a strong wrist shot he has. That strong, low wrist shot as John Blue looks behind and in desperation tries to get it, but it's already too late. It's in the net. And I tell you, that, again, that is Bob Joyce's bread and butter. It's low wrist shot.
Bob Joyce scoring at 4:55. Ian Kidd gets the only assist. And it is North Dakota 4, Minnesota 2. As Bob Joyce adds to his school record for goals in a season. It's up to 48 right now. And here comes Minnesota. Eric Dornfeld wristing it in. Belfour guides it to Lemoyne. This is Bobick directing it to Herkus. Herkus into the Gopher zone, goes down. Loose puck in front, and Joyce is stopped there by Blue. Joyce had a chance at 3. As somehow the puck slithered right in front of the goal mouth. Now Bobick in the corner. Centers it to Joyce. Tried to get it out to the point, but the Sioux were changing defensemen. And it rolls all the way back into their own end. Gophers take the chance to make a line change here, too. Craig Mack throws it into the UND end. And here's Big Marie Barron after him. Over for Kidd. Herkus now with Krumpetich and Johnson breaking. Throws it down. Icing is the call. 14:03 to go. We'll take a break.
My dad didn't have the words to tell me he loved me. But then he didn't have to. See, they were written all over his face.
And now that all your work is done,
Hello?
I've gone
Dad.
my own way.
Hi.
Hey, son.
They're not working you too hard, are they? No, Dad.
I won't drift away.
Long distance from Northwestern Bell. Don't drift away.
Off the face-off, Barron and McSwain tying up in the corner. McSwain picks it up. McSwain in the slot. Chorsky, it's hard off his stick and cleared to the center ice zone. Now David Espy pumps it in for Minnesota. Belfour directs it away from Steve McSwain. And the Sioux start out of there. Davidson's pass broken up by Espy. McSwain starts back. McSwain gets the shot away, and Belfour stops that. Russ Perrin heads back the other way to Davidson. Lee Davidson with Steve Johnson. Davidson with Mack all over him. Davidson still in possession. And finally, Chorsky pokes it ahead. Oh, Mack was all over Davidson. Here's Cates with the loose puck. Cates a shot and a goal! Jay Cates scores for Minnesota to make it 4-3 Sioux.
Well, here you see it. McSwain is going after the puck. And you'll see Russ Perrin just kind of slams it against the boards, thinking that there was a player behind him. And there was a player, all right, and it was Jay Cates, and he had a maroon and gold uniform on, and he walked right in on goaltender Eddie Belfour and slid a low shot that Eddie could just cut a piece of it, and it trickled in behind him to make it 4-3. But I think Russ Perrin must have heard somebody, because he didn't hesitate. He got the puck and he turned and kind of banked it off to the boards, and all of a sudden there were two Gophers players there, and just walked right in. Cates walked right in and fired a low shot in on Eddie.
Cates netting his 16th of the season at .652 unassisted. And that gets the Gopher contingent going here. The Gophers have quite a crowd in the end zone to our left. Minnesota's breakout attempt broken up by Kidd. Flutters right to Blue. And it's intercepted by Joyce, but Bloom picks the puck away. Stolen away by Dube. Now it squirts loose to Steve Orth, and back comes Minnesota. Randy Scarta, ridden off the play by Barron, but still puts it in front of the net. UND in a race for the puck. Mel Parks after it, but Chopek gets to it first. Lance Pitlick, number 6. Picking it up, Tim Berglund, number 27. Berglund and Brock. Berglund hustled off the play by Parent. Benson guides it up for Parks, who clears it. Icing is waved off. Sioux changing on the go here. As Minnesota brings it up ice with Todd Richards. Too far for Hankinson. It's stopped at the line by Benson. Swatted back in by Berglund. Tim Berglund having a pretty good playoff. He has 2 shorthanded goals and 2 game-winning goals in the playoffs. This is Bowen. Now Perenika scooping it up. He and Chopek dig for it. Squirts loose to Parent. He maneuvers around traffic. Parent a shot, and Chopek takes that right in the belly. Now a little skirmish, and the officials intervene.
Good play by Russ Parent. Just a little pivot there at the blue line. Takes a quick little slap shot. Chopek down to block it. Those are the little things. The block shots, the diving for the puck. Those are the things that win hockey games like this.
There's a break in the action. We'll be right back.
When you're involved in agriculture, financing is a big part of your life.
When it comes to ag lending, we are the leader because we work with farmers every day.
First National Bank, Devil's Lake.
11-17 remaining, 4-3, Sioux leading the Gophers. Nakanesi tries to get it off the face-off, and that's blocked. And here come the Gophers with Chopek. Long drive is way off the mark. It's rolling on top of the boards now. Still up there. Nobody can see it. Parent Hankinson exchange a few shoves, and the face-off coming up here to the left of Ed Belfour. UND sending out the Herkus Circus now.
Chino always used to tell us if the puck starts rolling on the boards like that, as it does here at UND, there's a width of boards, you know, between this plexiglass, and there's about a 5-inch width of boards, and just put your glove down. Don't swat it anywhere, because it may end up somewhere where you don't want it. Just put your glove down on it, get a whistle, get a face-off, especially in your own zone.
Back of the net, it's Granis trying to center it, but Barron intervenes. Held in at the line by Mack. It comes right to Belfour, who stopped that as Granis now having a few words with Big Murray Barron. Granis 5'11", Barron 6'3".
Well, here you'll see the shot from the point. It'll get out to the Minnesota defenseman here. Mack will take a shot, and you missed the Granis tip, but Granis is just floating through the slot, and he got a stick on it and misdirected the puck, and that causes a lot of trouble for goaltenders, and Eddie happened to get his blocker on it and make the save.
We're down to 10:51 now in the third period. It's 4-3 North Dakota. But here come the Sioux with Bob Joyce. Joyce a shot, and it's turned aside by Blue. Holding it in is Herkus. Espy trying to clear the zone. Bobick keeps the pressure on. Back to Joyce. Bobick has to stretch out for it now. Here's Kidd from the point. The shot is deflected. Bobick ridden into the boards by Espy. Joyce trying to poke it loose. Bobick gets it. He and Millen tie up for it. Mack is there. Now Bobick to Joyce. Back to Bobick now. Herkus in front of the net. 4-player tie-up. No whistle yet. Martinello watching it finally. He blows the whistle.
I tell you, there is some serious grinding going on down there on the ice, boy. It's one of those games where, as a player, it's very frustrating because it doesn't seem like you can't move but 2 feet without getting grabbed or hooked or held or slashed or something, and it's real frustrating as a player to be down there because you're just trying. You got your feet moving, you're just trying, but you don't seem to get anywhere. They seem to have 8 guys on you all the time, and it's one of those games where it's frustrating, but you've got to keep your patience because things will come if you just keep working hard.
No penalties yet in this third period, but we've had a couple of goals. 2 for North Dakota, 1 for Minnesota, and it's 4-3, the Sioux leading it. 9:37 remaining on the clock. Sioux trying to get it out of their own zone, but it's behind their own goal at the moment. Lemoyne loses it to Cates. Cates maneuvering a shot blocked. The rebound blocked again by Benson. Dornfeld holds it in, but Johnson brings it away to Davidson. Has Trumpetich on the left wing. Davidson leaves it for Mickey. Tosses it into the near corner, where Pitlick has it for the Gophers. Now it's Steve McSwain with Benson on him. McSwain throws it out. Holding it in. Richards a shot. Glove save, Belfour. 9:01 remaining. We'll take a break.
On the waking light of the morning, all through a perfect day. Summer in Manitoba, it's great in every way. Explore a place where summer's dreams are yours to hold and yours to see. Discover the heart of the place to be. Manitoba, we've got it great.
Koborinsky on the face-off with Steve Orth. Koborinsky with 1 goal tonight. Gave the Sioux a 3-2 lead. Now we're set to go. And they toss Koborinsky out, and Doob will step in. Orth also tossed, and Bloom comes in.
Musical face-offs, ladies and gentlemen.
Puck finally squirts loose to Barron, who directs it into the corner. Parks didn't see the man coming as Schopek centered it. Shopek again. The shot is blocked by Koborinsky, and here's a break for the Sioux. 2-on-1. Koborinsky, a shot, the save by Blue with the stick. As Dube was coming in 2-on-1. Now Kidd stops it. Bloom is there. Gophers bring it in, and that's broken up. Richards over for Shopek. Now Skarda tips it. Koborinsky gets a stick on it. And it comes to Scott Bloom. Scott Bloom trying to slither it to Steve Orth, who was wrapped up on the play. And it's sent out to center. 8:10 remaining. Espy having a little trouble with his footing. And that is whistled offside. 8:05 to go. We'll be right back.
Cost Cutters cuts the cost of quality hair care. And at Cost Cutters, the only difference in our quality perms and fashion cuts is the price.
There is Tim Berglund, senior left wing from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. He won the Gophers Unsung Hero Award last year, and that's not surprising if you know Tim Berglund. Always gives 100% out there. Now the puck gets by Mike Lemoyne, and icing is waved off. Russ Parent, Paul Broughton in a race for it. Broughton steals in front, but Bowen is there. Perenica trying to pick it up, but Espy sends it ahead. It's intercepted by Lemoyne. Stick save Blue. Shot back in by Parent. Bowen in front, and it's turned aside by Blue. Now Peter Hankinson, but it's held in. Espy tries to clear. Finally, it gets out of there. Parent dumps it in for North Dakota, but Espy brings it back out for Minnesota. Sioux send out a new line, the Herkus Circus. Parent pokes it ahead to Bobick. Can't get around Grannis. And the Gophers try to come back. Parent, however, intercepts. The Gophers re-intercept. Herkus in there checking. Now Grannis steals it away. Dave Grannis tried to play it to Snuggerud. Kidd gets a stick on it. This is Herkus with Joyce and Bobick. Herkus along a shot, but Snuggerud was hooking him from behind. In the meantime, the play is whistled offside.
Well, Tony Herkus just wanted to dump that puck in on the net, and he wound up to take a slap shot, and one of the Gopher players got him from behind, and he didn't get a chance to get it off. And well, let's see, here it is. Tony gets it, and he wants to just get it in. Oh, he gets a stick on it. Tony says, "Like, let me shoot it, will you?" So he tries to kick it with. In the meantime, Bobick had fallen down, and he slid across the blue line on his back, and thus causing the offside.
Snuggerud hooking Herkus on that play. We've got 6:26 remaining in period number 3. 4-3. The Sioux lead it. Tom Shorsky. Oh, upended by Ian Kidd. Richards' shot is blocked. Richards again with the puck. Backhander way wide. The Sioux clear it out. Here's Herkus. Into Gopher ice. Tony Herkus drops it back. Johnson on the backhander shot. The save by Blue. Still a loose puck. Comes to Marie Barron. Over for Benson. He shoots. Hits over the top of the net. Johnson drops it back. Marie Barron cranks. That is blocked by Shorsky, who sends it to center. Gophers make a line change. Here's Johnson for North Dakota. Slithering it through. Mack gets to it. And the Sioux regroup with Benson. Trying to get it to Herkus. It goes all the way down the ice. 5:25 remaining. Peter Hankinson, number 9. Tried to rink wide it. Herkus deflects it. Puck comes down to Mack. Now Broughton to Berglund. Can't get around Lemoyne. Berglund intercepts. Broughton a shot in front, and he shot it wide. Puck along the boards. Johnson tried to play it ahead to Dube. A bouncing puck cleared by Mack. Shot back in. And the Sioux send out some fresh players. Around it comes to Tim Berglund. He pokes it out to center. And playing it is Barrett. Over for Lemoyne. Having trouble with it. Now Broughton and Lemoyne tying up. Oh, Chorsky came in there hard. Or Graniset was. Checking Lemoyne. Still a loose puck at center. Hitting is picked up a bit here. With 4:27 remaining. 4-3. North Dakota leads. Dube gets in the way of that pass. Here's Dube dumping it in. Koborinsky in front. Parks a weak shot. Hits the side of the net. Here is Snuggerud up ahead to Millen. Millen cutting in. Trying to get around Barrett. Now Millen teeing it up for Pitlick at the point. Tried to get it to Dornfeld, and it's intercepted by Parks. Up ahead. Here's Krupinich in the clear. A shot and a goal!
Oh, just a great play here by Mal Parks. He knows that Mickey Krupinich is breaking. He just lays a nice pass out there for Mickey to skate to. The puck is wobbling. Mickey puts it middle left-hand corner of the net. Just a great play by Mal Parks to get it to Mickey. Here comes Mickey in alone on John Blue. The puck is wobbling a little bit there. He's not going to deke. He's going to shoot. John Blue goes to his left, leaving the left side open. Mickey Krupinich puts it in the left-hand side for a 5-3 North Dakota lead.
Mickey Krupinich with his 26th goal of the season from Parks and Barron at 16:01, and it's 5-3 North Dakota. A big goal for the Sioux here as we wind down game one of the two-game total goal series, the WCHA playoff championship. If the Sioux win, they will most likely be at home next week in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Now Shopek tossing it in for the Gophers. Oh, Millen is tripped up as he tripped over Belfour's stick, and an interference call here. 3:23 remaining. We'll take a break.
I used to be the roughest, toughest, meanest wrestler in the world.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Sorry. But now, I've mellowed out. Excuse me. And there ain't nothing I like better than hanging out with my friends and sharing some Miller Lite. They love it because it's less filling. Me, I love it because it tastes great.
It's no match. There's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
North Dakota getting whistled for a minor at 16:37. Bobick went into the box, and we're speculating now if the penalty was on Ed Belfour, the goaltender for North Dakota. And I would assume that is the case. We are still awaiting word. Here's another look at it.
Well, let's see here what happens. There's... they're going to call that on Eddie Belfour. It doesn't seem to, from that replay, doesn't seem that there was any intention involved there. It looked like he was just trying to get back to his net. There was a Sioux player in between Millen and Belfour. Belfour's trying to hurry to get back into his net. Him and Millen kind of hit each other, and Millen got the worst of it.
So Belfour's penalty for interference served by Bobick at 16:37. The score is North Dakota 5, Minnesota 3. All of the goals tonight have come with the teams at even strength. The puck squirts loose to Todd Richards. He shoots, and it's blocked at the defense there as Joyce went down. Shopek trying to hold it in. He does for the moment, but it dribbles outside the line. And the Sioux clear it. Here is Richards starting the Minnesota rush. Most of Richards' goals have come on the power play. Shopek whips it in. It, again, rides the top of the boards, comes down. Snuggerud now tied up by Lemoyne. Snuggerud can't get the pass away, kicks it. Now passes off to Shopek. Shopek over here for Richards. To Corey Millen. Back to Richards. To Shopek. 1:05 to go on the penalty. Snuggerud in the corner. Back to Gary Shopek. Snuggerud loses it. Herkus ties him up. Gets the pass away to McSwain. Back it comes to Snuggerud. Herkus got a stick down on it. Snuggerud gets it back to McSwain. Trying to set it up. It hits Belfour's stick. Schopek hits from a bad angle. And here comes UND. Herkus to Joyce. Joyce trying to get around. He shoots it, and a big save by Blue. Joyce again with it now. Puck rolls to the corner. Joyce and Herkus out there killing the penalty for the Sioux. But the Gophers come away. Steve McSwain. 18 seconds to go on the penalty. Trying to get it to Cates in front, and that's cleared. 10 seconds remaining on the penalty to Belfour. Cates throwing it in, and that's whistled offside. Bobick is out of the box, and North Dakota is at full strength. They've killed the penalty with 1:23 remaining.
Well, that's a big kill, as you see the North Dakota fans cheering that penalty kill. You know, at this stage in the game, any penalty under 3 or 4 minutes in the game is the crucial one. Either team, you know, North Dakota gains momentum by killing it. Minnesota, on the other hand, would gain momentum by scoring a power play. So, in this instance, it happened in North Dakota's favor. They kill off the penalty real nicely.
Minnesota still trying to get back in the game, though, as they freeze the puck for a face-off as the clock goes down to 1:11. 5-3, North Dakota leading it. Don't forget Game 2 coming up tomorrow night, 7:30, right here on this channel. Later tonight, after your local news, it'll be Nightline, followed by Solid Gold, and the late movie, 3 Wishes for Jamie. Sioux poke it out to center. Less than a minute to go now, as they jam up in front of the penalty box. With 57 seconds to go.
Again, these last minute of these first game of these total goal series, you know, it's a little different. Maybe a 5-3 lead when it gets down to 20, 30 seconds. You'd relax in a normal game, but this is one game, really. So you've got to stay in there till the clock says 0.
Back comes Minnesota with Peter Hankinson. He shoots, and it's deflected wide. Benson to Parks. Stopped at the line by Espy. Now it's Berglund, a shot wide. Dube will get there. Gets by Skarda, goes all the way down, and Parks will get to it first. Parks for the Sioux, throws it in front, but the Sioux were changing lines at the time. Now Koberinsky centers it. Parks takes a whack at it and comes all the way back outside the line. 17 seconds. Kidd with a weak dump-in attempt. Going for the face-off. Skarda freezes it, and we're down to 5 seconds in regulation.
Well, the fans giving the Sioux a nice hand here, singing the bye-bye song as they usually do after each game. Everyone kind of waving. Well, the Gophers are down for one night, but I think they'll probably be back tomorrow night, Pat, ready to go at 7:30 again.
That's the thing to remember, is that the Sioux may be about to win this game, but the important thing is total goals.
They're down but not out by any means.
Game 2 tomorrow night, 7:30 right here. The winner will be declared the WCHA playoff champion. The clock hits 0. That's the end of the game. And the final score, North Dakota 5, Minnesota 3. The Sioux winning Game 1 of this 2-game total goal series.
Well, I'm sure North Dakota is, very satisfied with the way the scoreboard goes. They had some lapses in the game tonight where they played very, very well. And then they had some lapses during the game that they didn't play so well, and they were playing kind of sluggish and not really to their game plan. So, I'm sure they're real happy right now to be up on the Gophers by 2 goals.
Doug Woog, the Gopher coach, we had a chance to see him there at the end. Didn't look too happy. But tomorrow, anything can happen. As the Gophers proved last week, they lost the opening game of that series 2-1 to Wisconsin and came back to win there. So the Gophers still have to look at this optimistically.
And even in these games, too, when, you know, the loser of this game, or the loser of this series, is going to have to rely on a selection committee to get back into the Final Eight. And when you're relying on a committee, your wins and losses and where they were played and all that comes into play. So Minnesota tomorrow is looking, you know, to win the game tomorrow. Even if, what brings to mind is when we played in Minneapolis, my senior year, the finals of the WCHA, we lost to Minnesota Duluth by a score of 8-1 or 8-2 or something like that. We almost had no chance the next night to catch up, but we won the game the next night, and we were reinstated into the Final Eight. So it becomes very important, not only the wins, but not only the total goals, but winning the game.
So incentive for everybody across the board here. North Dakota 5, Minnesota 3. We'll be back to wrap it up in just a moment.
When I played hoops, I could beat anybody. Still can. Yo, Chief, little one-on-one or what?
Get out of town, man.
Chicken! At least I can enjoy a Miller Lite while I'm looking for a game, right? How about you, Peanut? Wimp. Light tastes great, but these beanpoles probably drink it because it's less filling. Hey, yo, beanpole, you want to show me what you got? Tricks are easy. I'd like to get this turkey on the course.
It's no contest. There's only one light beer, Miller Lite. An invitation you can't decline.
Welcome to an unprecedented evening of fine dining. Subtle romance for a night of excitement. We invite you to the Elks.
Updated and unimitated, uniquely yours. The Elks.
The 3 stars in tonight's game, number 1, Bob Joyce of the Sioux with 2 goals. Number 2 star, Dave Snuggerud of Minnesota. He had 1 goal tonight. The number 3 star, Mal Parks for the Fighting Sioux, coming up with 2 assists. So 5-3 the final, and the saves in that period for Blue of Minnesota, 6, a game total of 26. Belfort 7, also a game total of 26. It was a tight game.
Yeah, it really was. You know, it, like I say, it fluctuated kind of back and forth between the teams. Sometimes they played with real aggressiveness, and sometimes they didn't. I think we saw a game of good goaltenders for the most part, and but a couple lapses by the goaltenders too. So there was no real spark. You know, neither team really sparkled, but for the most part, they played a pretty good hockey team, just with a couple lapses on each side.
And history made tonight for UND. Tony Herkus becoming the first Sioux player ever to score 100 points in a season. He gets it with this assist on the goal by Bob Joyce to tie it up at 2 in the second period.
Well, the assist happened on a Tony Herkus shot, and John Blue couldn't handle it, and Bob Joyce was Johnny on the spot as he's been all season. Just gets the puck, makes a quick turn, and puts it up in the top corner of the net. And, you know, everything has been said about Tony Herkus this season. I think every adjective there is to describe him has been used, and you just can't say enough about him, his talent, what he's done to this program, and he's got national acclaim. Everybody knows who Tony Herkus is, and you know he brings a lot to this program, and it's just been a lot of fun and a great honor for us to watch him this season. He's just a super tremendous talent.
Bob Joyce also on that line. He came up with 2 goals tonight, his 47th and 48th of the season, to add to his UND record for goals scored in one season. So the final again tonight, North Dakota 5, Minnesota 3. We'll be back with Game 2 tomorrow night at 7:30 right here on this channel. Now for Dean Barsness, this is Pat Sweeney saying thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
This has been WCHA Playoff Championship action with the UND Fighting Sioux and the Minnesota Gophers. Tonight's game was sponsored by Miller Lite, Modern Chrysler, Lever's Super Value and Warehouse Foods, Valley Honda, Realty World Town and Country, Silverman's, Fat Albert's, Acme Electric, the Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Solom's Country Store, Jarrell's, Grand Forks and Devil's Lake, ID Motors, Fralick Paulson Moore Insurance, the Red River Valley Potato Growers Association, the Grand Forks Elks, First National Bank, Grand Forks, Home of Economy, Valley Car Wash, Northern Liquidators, Thompson Insurance, Norby's Office Services, Province of Manitoba Tourism, and Hanson Ford.
But they can't relax.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game, and I was wrong. Well, for the night, though, the Sioux hockey team can enjoy its 5-3 playoff win over Minnesota, but the Sioux can't relax. After all, a 2-goal lead isn't an awful lot heading into Saturday's rematch. Tonight, the Sioux lined it up first 8 minutes in. Off the boards, Perry Nakanichny knocks in the bouncing puck. It's 1-0 Sioux after one. But the Gophers roar back. 32 seconds into the second, Dave Snuggerud snaps it past Ed Belfour. He ties it at 1. And Minnesota takes the lead when Paul Broughton somehow finds that right angle to hit the net, and it's 2-1 Gophs. But the Sioux answer. Bobby Joyce on the rebound, scoring on John Blue. Joyce's 47th, Hercus's 100th point of the season, 2-2 after 2. But UND puts up 3 in the third. It's Joyce breaking in and squeezing one through Blue. Joyce's 48th, and the Sioux top the Gophers in Game 1 of the Total Goal Series, 5-3. Now, for a quick recap of tonight's game, we go back out to the Winter Sports Center and Pat Sweeney.
Dan, we're in the Sioux locker room with Tony Hercus following that victory in Game 1. What did you think of the game tonight, Tony?
Well, it was a close checking game there for a while there until we got a couple of goals on it, and they had to sort of freewheel a bit more. But the first 2 periods, it was just tight checking. You couldn't really skate with the puck or anything. They were right on you. And it was tied 2-2 or something like that, and it was a close game.
The third period, more to your liking?
Yeah, I liked it a bit more, but, you got to just play the way, just play the game and go from there.
You think it'll be another tight one tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah, they're going to come out flying, and we just have to do the same.
The Sioux learned that last week. You can't sit back.
Yeah, that's for sure. We didn't play the second game that well last week because we lost, and we can't do that this week.
Finally, Tony, you picked up an assist tonight. You're the first UND player to score 100 in a season. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Pretty happy about it, but I'm just glad we won the game. We're in the driver's seat right now. Minnesota's going to have to play good to beat us if we play our game, and we're going to have to come up tomorrow flying.
Okay, Tony Hercus, thanks for being with us. Right now, back to Dan.